Every Thursday, the scene is set in the realm of thoughts where minds are met. They're the thinkers with brains on the brink. Every Thursday, they're doing a thing with that darn kitty as the fearless lead. And Foxrew by her side, they plant the seed with Dorkus guiding through dungeons deep. And Grey Coupe spreads it on steep. Emo's crush goes like magic in the air. Express Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace, while other guests add to the lively space. In a world of thoughts where minds collide, the thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace, every Thursday is their special place.
It's a special place. Have you ever experienced the intro, David?
I have not. That's my first time. I'm just like bopping my head to it.
On the doll where they touch your special place.
That is an AI creation courtesy of Grey Coupe.
I assumed it was probably AI. Yeah, it's good though.
It's
very
wonderful.
good. The video itself is Grey. Grey created it, so he made all the clips, put all the clips together. The song, however, is AI. I think it's pretty good. I love it. It gets stuck in your head. And welcome to the special place.
Good morning.
It's Thursday. Yeah.
Or good afternoon, or wherever you
Good
may
afternoon,
be.
good evening, and good night.
Correct.
Vanessa is very excited to be here. You've brought Vanessa around with you.
Hello, Vanessa.
Hi. And she's saying hello.
Good morning,
to
Lucifer.
No shame. She did say she did a great alliteration, as Bima pointed out. David's debut. So
double D.
Yeah.
Big double
There
Ds,
you
yeah.
go. She said hello, David, to you too. There you go.
What does that make? Like 8 females that now watch the show?
Yay! No, she's just for today because
Just bringing my
of that.
fans, people.
You know what?
Okay?
If we just
Coincidence that they're all women, okay?
if we just put him solo, you'd watch the numbers go up. Just Lucy. Okay. Anyway, that's So who is David Puff? Everybody.
I don't know. He just got here.
Hi.
just
well,
got here?
I'm a fan of the show, first of all.
Oh, absolute fan. Yes. First time you heard the intro.
Which is why I picked you, the lucky you, to be my streaming debut. So yeah,
We are blessed.
Yay! We're the first ones to have him. We're great. We launch many careers here at Thinkers. So
I know that. I know this is strategic.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm glad. Yeah.
I'm a cinematographer, camera operator, an editor, and general jack of all trades in the film and TV industry up here in Canada and Alberta. And I do all kinds of things, mostly camera stuff. Yeah.
We actually have something to share. We can show you guys what David does.
Prove it. Name 5 cameras.
No.
Well, there we go. There you go. He does stuff, guys. Puff does stuff.
Have you ever been in love?
What do you want to talk about?
The way we see it, you're involved.
It was supposed to be one last run.
Ooh.
Water.
I like the color grading that you do.
Thank you. I did it myself.
Can you feel it?
I shot and graded all of this.
What is this place?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
That's
an
awesome.
angel? I just don't believe in that kind of thing.
What we got? 2 dead. There's a gun by one of the bodies.
Don't copyright claim us, eh?
We spent a
No,
lot of time.
this is
That would be
this is,
really
no,
funny.
this is not. This is a
Lifetime.
royalty-free music.
How I feel. Running with a man.
You know?
Yeah, there's a couple parallels with this character. Left his hometown. Had
Oh, I
some
want that
success.
hat. The blue
You're not
hat.
gonna call him, are you?
I'm not gonna chase a ghost.
Rough night.
What do you want from me?
Oh, you didn't bring that gun. None of this would have happened.
If I didn't have the gun, I'd be dead. Say you saw something. When it speaks to you, it makes you feel like that whole world is just one.
Tell me what you saw.
And Action Dallas.
I think Dallas really embodies Ronan because he's had a whole life.
It is a little
and
quiet,
career
kitty.
in music.
If he just
Sorry.
was a little less privileged, they both could be dead.
So what are you doing all the way out here? Is there a problem? I don't know. Is there?
It's quite the family you got here. Let them go
Ooh.
and take me. This is serious.
I just need this to be
There's
over.
a lot of violence.
We have to do things outright.
I just wish I could wake up and have this all be a dream.
Every morning you get up, you sit and watch me like there's something wrong. I feel like one morning you're gonna say you don't want this anymore. I'm never getting off this island.
Whoa.
Oh my God, what was that?
Yeah, right?
I can never tell when you're lying.
Don't be afraid. Welcome to Genesis.
Questions for you, David.
Oh, wow.
How many projects was that?
Half a dozen, 7, 8 maybe, something like that. So some of it was some short films of mine, Genesis and UFO, which were written and directed by me, and then the rest was like a couple of feature films that I was a cinematographer for. So that's where a lot of the violent stuff was from, the sort of like guy getting beat up by the waterfront and hit by the car, and the criminal stuff. That's all from a movie called Broken and another movie called Good People, Bad Things. And then the rest of it is kind of documentary stuff. I shot some behind the scenes stuff for other movies and different disability documentaries and all kinds of different stuff. So there's all kinds of different stuff in there. So I decided to cut it together in kind of a movie trailer style because I also wanted to sell my editing because I also do post work.
The dramatic drop in the music as the dude is doing a flip was a specific highlight of mine. I loved it.
Thank you.
He is very talented. That the reason that we want to show this is that he's the real deal. He does the cinematography. This is for real.
He's a man that does the movies.
Yeah. He does
David,
the thing.
Do you tend to prefer?
I even have an IMDb page. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
nice.
I'll
You were
put
saying
that, I'll
Dorkus.
put that on in the description, the IMDb page.
David, do you
That's
tend
what
to
I do.
prefer working on documentaries or on movies? I'm not that documentaries aren't movies, but you know what I mean.
Docs
No,
are really
we understood what you
docs are
said.
really fun. I've actually shot last year. We did 2 trips doing true crime stuff, which was very different for me. So it was very much like the idea that you're running and gunning on something that really happened, and you can end up putting yourself in situations that are kind of uncomfortable. Like, for example, if you're trying to figure out an unsolved murder, there's always the chance that you are actually trying to expose somebody who's actually in your vicinity, which is kind of freaky. But I love movies too. Like I love like a chunk of time, you know, where you're scheduled to just go and be on a set for 12 hours a day, and make a film. I love filmmaking, and it's kind of, I like the fact that I get to do both the run and gun doc stuff and the movie stuff. Is there one that I love more? Probably the movie stuff. Especially when they're my movies. Most of the time I'm on somebody else's movie. So it depends. It depends. I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff doing doc. Just last year we shot, I was a camera operator on a show called The Crip Trip, which was about it was about a guy and his disabled friend going on a road trip to New York. It's a 6-episode series. Yeah. So it's called The Crip Trip. We have the Crip Pass, to use the word in the
Okay,
show.
yeah. From the person, yeah. That's hilarious.
But so it was kind of like a lifestyle doc style show. So what we ended up doing was 6 guys on a road trip in 2 vehicles. There was an RV and a follow vehicle, gone for 5 weeks or 49 days, 50 days, something like that, from Edmonton all the way to New York City. It was like the craziest, wildest thing I'd ever done. And that's something you can't get on a movie set. Sometimes you do travel for movies, but like in this case, it was just, nothing is going to replicate this sort of crazy, you know, we're up at 2 a.m. because something wild is happening, or the guy's parking the Walmart parking lot and Fred's walking around with his shirt off asking people what country he's in. You know what I mean? Like, it just sort of, it got nuts, and we all ended up at New York City, and it was one of the best, worst times of my life. It was fantastic.
So that lack of scripting is actually can be quite freaking exciting, I suppose.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you have an outline, so they have a goal. They know what cities we're stopping in. They know who are the other subjects that we're going to be talking to along the road trip. But we don't always know what's going to happen. For example, the RV broke down on our way. We were about an hour out of our city, and we were like, "Are we even going?" We didn't even know, and we ended up breaking down, 5 more times before we finally got home. So like, you don't know when these things are going to happen, and we ended up staying in places we never thought we would stay, and we ended up not getting to go to other places we had planned to go. So yeah, it's there was at one point we didn't know if we were going to go to New York, and then Fred, the showrunner, was like, no, we're going. Like, we're going to find a reason to go. I was like, thank God. I don't want to end the trip.
How do you deal with that uncertainty?
Well, we're on the road and we're just in it, right? It's like the production team actually has to basically handle everything. They handle the hotels, the arrangements, everything else. So I'm just along for the ride. Right?
That's great.
I just gotta make sure that I'm there with a camera to capture whatever it is we need to capture. And we have a showrunner with us who tries somewhat to like coordinate, but like, we were supposed to shoot 10-hour days, and like that never happened, right? Some days we'd shoot 4, some days we'd shoot 16 or 20, like it didn't. That's just kind of the nature of that style of production.
Can I ask you, with the like run and gun aspect of like a doc, do you have more control as like a cinematographer? Because I mean, you wouldn't have time to figure out exactly what like the director wants. A lot of it would be a little bit more on you to actually get a different version of just like a standard interview or something. Would there be more freedom in a doc than say like a feature?
It really depends. Like, it depends on what you mean by freedom too. Like with a doc, you're not usually lighting things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are. Sometimes you are trying to light an environment where you expect certain things to happen in. Most of the time, you're just trying to make sure you capture the image, because the whatever the thing is that you're trying to capture is more important than making sure everything looks like a fucking expensive Hollywood film or something like that. So it kind of depends. Like there are days when we do sit down interviews with people where we'll set up for 4 hours and we'll set up these big elaborate lighting rigs and do 2 camera shoots. And on something like Crypt Trip, which by the way, I wasn't the cinematographer on Crypt Trip. I was the B camera.
Okay.
So the cinematographer was another fellow, also named David. That was fun.
I keep hearing the gas station quick trip rather than Crypt Trip, and it's throwing me off.
So you did this whole documentary on the gas station? Yes, you did.
Yeah, it's just about a gas station, of course.
But if you're talking about like creative cinematography, you have a lot more freedom to like create a look when you're making a short film or a feature film, right? Because then you're getting to a location, or maybe you've pre-scouted it, you've decided how you're going to light it, what mood you're going for, and you get to sort of mold the light and the environment to what you want it to be. Whereas in doc, you're more like, well, this is the bar, let's shoot from that corner because that's where we're going to be out of the way. So it's a combination of things.
You have to be so flexible and so just a dynamic person to do what you're doing. You mentioned your films. What do you mean by that?
So
do you have films that you want to make, that you're making?
Yeah. So my last 2 short films are called Genesis and Unidentified Flying Object.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those are my scripts. I wrote them, I directed them, and I was also the cinematographer and editor on them as well, because budget. So those are my movies. Yeah. Genesis is a sci-fi movie that I've been working on for 20 years. We shot it in 2005, and I've been working on it since then. And then UFO was shot a couple of years ago, and they're both still in post doing the audio mix right now. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. It gave me like sort of Cocoon vibes. Like just yeah. You ever see the movie Cocoon?
Not in a long time.
Okay. It's like the last time I saw it, it just gave me a similar vibe. Oh, welcome to this. This is now where you're going to be.
Yeah, the clips from UFO are the one with the orange orb in the sky. That's
that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Genesis because it said "Welcome to Genesis," and then it had the similar lighting.
Well,
Um,
they're two separate movies. Yeah.
There you go. Go and have. Yeah, they are two separate. Sorry, that movie sucks. Oh, shit, Cocoon. I was trying to get this to show on the screen. Thank you. Go sub to David's YouTube channel. Yeah, David, do you put anything on there regularly?
Sometimes I have a Puff Studios. Like my company's name is Puff Studios, so like I have a Puff Studios account that I do called Distribution, Puff Studios Distribution, that I post some stuff on. Like I think there's a trailer for UFO on there. And I'm currently mixing the trailer for Genesis, so it's not online yet. And we're mixing that in 5.1, and I'm pretty excited about that one.
Okay, then I'm subscribed to that one as well. Anyway,
there you go.
Yeah, here it is. Shit, wrong channel. But anyway, the thing is, oh no, that's put it on Twitch as well. Okay.
There we go.
Cool. So obviously the reason that we do have you here, like, look, that I think we could do a whole thing on your career. I think everybody has questions about that, I suppose, that they want to go into more than anything. But the reason that we actually brought you on was because of last week's thing where we were talking about true crime, and you have a direct link to a true crime in is that a horrible way to phrase it?
No.
Okay.
No, that's great. Yeah.
How would you describe your link to this crime?
Well, I knew the murderer and I was friends with him and I worked with him for 2 years.
That's fucking insane to me.
Yeah, and it was like pretty shocking to find out what he was being accused of, and there's a whole psychological roller coaster that you go on when you find out that someone you know and someone that you trusted and didn't think twice about hanging out with alone or going on a trip with was capable of something like that. And not just any murder. Like it's freaking horrific what this guy did. So I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Am I correct in saying you did testify as well?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's also, so you testified in the case that put this person away. Mark Twitchell is the person. Okay, where do I even start? I know I've had a long enough time to ask you questions to put which question I want, but okay, so let's go into just the summary of the case, because I suppose there are people that don't know about it. Let me just even say it. I don't know. Basically, Mark Twitchell was an aspiring filmmaker. He was influenced by the television series Dexter, which features a serial killer protagonist. I think we all know that. He rented a garage to use as a makeshift movie set for his short film titled House of Cards. And guess who worked on House of Cards? Our David
Your
Puff.
mother.
So you worked with him, you said 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know sort of where you want me to sort of start the story. I usually start at how I met Mark and like what we did before, because the projects we worked on, the how I met Mark and the project we worked on was also sort of fun and interesting because it was a Star Wars fan film.
Yes, that was the first one that's the first thing that most true crime people talk about is he's got the two films. So they talk about the fan film that did pretty well.
It was never finished because he murdered somebody.
Oh wait, you know why? So you finished filming it was they were supposed he didn't have enough budget to do the special effects and everything, right?
I mean that's the
and then he
was version of it,
yeah, and then he got he's kind of in jail and killed.
Yeah, we don't actually know where the footage is, like whether his parents have it, whether or not another fella has it who was, I think, made
with him
power of attorney
in jail.
I mean, we don't know if it was destroyed. I don't know. I've tried to find it. I know 2 guys in the States who have some of the footage because I snuck some of it to them when they were when they were leaving back to the States. They were the two guys playing Han Solo and
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
There's
So-
still, I mean, in the documentaries, they've got little snippets of it.
Yes, well, those came from Jimmy Siokas, who played Han Solo.
Okay.
And he gave Dateline or somebody some of the footage. The rest of the footage that you see is just behind the scenes. And then are you talking about the Star Wars footage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't have any of it. All I
Oh.
have are some low resolution scenes that I edited early, like what we would call like a draft cut of a couple of scenes that were shot back in the day. But that's all I have left of that Star Wars project.
So basically, there was the Star Wars project, and then there was the one that you even yourself called the murder film.
Yeah, the murder movie.
The murder movie, which is House of Cards that he wrote and directed, but you filmed it, right? What was your role on that?
Cinematographer, yeah. So I was
Just
cinematographer, camera operator, yeah. Yeah.
And so let's just quickly go through the crime. Okay, what he did was he posed as a woman named Jen, and on Plenty of Fish, and he lured a guy. His victim was Johnny Altinger. Is that how you say it?
Altinger, I think is how it's pronounced. Yeah.
So yeah, he was 38, and he got he thought he was going to meet this girl Jen, and at this garage he was, and this is actually, it's for Hydra's benefit as well because he doesn't know the story, but yeah, he got
Hydra's back.
catfish.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, he got catfish to go to this garage, and then basically he killed his victim, this guy.
He was never heard of again. Yeah.
Yes, he was never heard of again. He was chopped into pieces. And okay, we can get into the details. But the week before as well, he had attempted this, and the guy got away. How do you say the guy's name? Did you say Giles?
I call him Gilles Tetreault.
Yeah, Gilles. It's Gille.
Because
this
it's
guy
French, you
got
see.
away. Yeah.
So it is
So-
something he tried to do before, and do we know what the motivation is for this? Like, is the serial thing or just?
He wanted to be a serial killer.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wrote a whole document on it. Did you read it, by the way, Kitty? Did you read
I was gonna ask you if you've read it.
I have, yeah. And if you can find the uncensored version,
I will.
because it's freaking nuts.
Okay, because I want to. It's more about what your perception of it that I want to really talk about.
Right.
So there's the case, right? And the point is that there was this movie that that you guys worked on that he basically then essentially acted out in a manner of speaking. In that garage, like this hurts me to say, but you were in that you were in that garage.
Yes. Yeah.
That fucking
You were the one catfish.
that really it messes me up. It
Wow,
messes me up.
Okay.
So
not only
okay,
did you
so
know
the
guy, but he acted out one of your art pieces.
well, it's a bit more sinister than that because
Okay.
So what happened was, so okay, I'm gonna rewind a little bit here. So Mark and I met when I got a call from a former instructor of mine at my college. I had built a green screen there where I shot my movie Genesis, and she's telling me that there's this guy, he's shooting this Star Wars movie. He was a student at our program a couple years before you, and he's wondering about your green screen and can I give him your number? And so Mark called me. And he's like, we're shooting a Star Wars movie. We want to do it on the green screen. Do you want to come on board? And I said, well, I'll shoot it for you. It sounds fun. And we ended up collaborating on that. And so I was a cinematographer on that. And I also rewrote a bunch of the script and everything. And it was a troubled production. A lot of delays. Mark was a lot more interested in making costumes than he was actually directing a movie. And like me and Jimmy, who plays Han Solo and stuff, ended up directing scenes without him because he just wasn't around because he was too busy making costumes and
cosplay.
Well, because he's a cosplayer too.
He
stuff,
was
right?
a cosplayer.
So you go to his house. He has like a signed picture of Mark Hamill on his wall. He's got lightsabers. I mean, he's just your typical kind of nerdy collector dude, right? So as the years went on, I know that I know him. He would start making these grandiose promises. He was talking to investors. We were going to make Star Wars was just like the fun project. We're really going to be filmmakers and we're going to make these movies. And he had this script for a show called Day Players, which was about guys that do small bit parts in movies. And it was kind of a romantic comedy, sort of in the vein of an old, let's say, Adam Sandler movie or something like that. And we shot a pitch trailer for that. That Mark is actually in, because he plays a director who yells at the actors. And then one day he comes to me after working with him for a few years and goes, "Hey, I've got this script called House of Cards. It's about a murder that takes place in a garage. Do you want to shoot that?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to shoot anything I get my hands on," right? So some of the guys that had worked on Star Wars and worked on some of these other projects get hired to shoot this murder movie. And we shot it over the course of, I don't know, about 3 days or something like that. And one of the days was in the garage where we shot this murder stuff. So we spent a day or two with an actor, you know, taped to a metal chair. There was a metal table with all these accoutrements on them, stun gun, saws, all this crazy stuff. The killer in the movie wears a mask with yellow stripes on it. And all of that stuff was there, right? Okay. So we shoot this movie. And I remember thinking, this is kind of weird. We're shooting in the garage in this neighborhood, and I'm like, God, I hope nobody walks by and looks in, because this would not look good.
You didn't tell like any authorities in advance that?
No,
hey,
we're just shooting a movie.
No,
they rented a movie. Please,
no, he
don't
rented.
be
He
alarmed
rented
by all of the things you need for
he
kidnapping
rented
and torture.
He rented the garage from these people that could hardly speak English. So
I was surprised that Mark had like real weapons, and like the stun baton was real. Like, you know, I mean, I know it's low budget, right? So, you know, you can't always make props for things, but like to hear that.
How'd you find out it was real?
Because we turned it on, and like it's
Let's go.
where the killer like, you know, jabs it in somebody's back. Now we didn't actually jab it in someone's back, but when the guy falls away, the killer's standing behind him with it in his hand, and it's still going off, right? And the thing made a god awful sound. So like we knew it was real.
That was involved in the fucking crime. Okay.
Yeah. So
he used that.
So about 2 weeks later, I get a call. About 2 weeks after we shoot the movie, I get a call from the police, the RCMP, and they asked me if I want to come in and answer some questions. And I was like, okay, sure.
Sure, I'll take an interview for this film.
So I get to the cop shop, and they say, you know, come with us. I went there with my wife at the time, and they left her in the waiting room, and I went upstairs, and I'm walking through these hallways, and I'm noticing things like homicide division on the doors and like all this like weird stuff. And they take me into this like small room, like where you would, you know, question somebody, right?
At any point during this, did you think you would need a lawyer or anything like that? Did you have any inkling?
No. I was genuinely like just bewildered by the whole thing.
You're just like, I mean, okay.
I was like, yeah. So I sit down.
Imagine if it did end up being like, hey, can we get free tickets for a movie?
Yeah. So you sit down?
So I sit down, and this detective named Bill Clark comes in the room and just starts asking me all these questions. I actually have the transcript of our conversation right here.
Guys.
And he starts asking me all these questions.
Womp womp.
Sorry, Lucy. Really, Lucy? You could say he gave a killer performance. No, that's horrible.
I'd say it was dead on.
Oh, there you go. So you've got the transcript of your conversation. Okay. Did they give that to you? Why do you have that?
So I got that when I got a summons to testify in court. So they send it to you so that you can review it for your testimony.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So he starts asking me all these questions about this movie we're shooting, and I'm like, yeah, we're shooting a movie. Like, it's no big deal. Like, it's a little weird. And I mentioned something about like hoping that, you know, nobody looked into the garage because, you know, people might think we're making a snuff movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And Clark looks at me and he goes, "What do you know about snuff movies?"
So at this point, so wait, they hadn't told you.
And I was like, nothing.
So the only thing that you had been said is that, listen, we're just going to ask you some questions. They didn't say there's been this, there's been that, where it's a miss, because at this point it was a missing persons.
Yes. So that's what they told me in the interview about a quarter way into the interview, he goes, the reason why we're here, the reason why we're talking is there was a guy in the area around that time who went missing, and we're just talking to people in the area to try to get some answers.
Okay.
That's
obviously
that's
they
what
don't
he
want
that's
to-
the excuse he gave me, right?
They obviously
Yeah.
don't want to open up with that because interrogation technique. Or
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
very
and
least,
also you
wanting to
could
get
be a
info.
suspect. You actually could be a suspect.
Correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, the interview process goes on for a while, and it was all these talks about the movie and where the footage was and how I would get the footage and what kind of drive was it stored on and how was it shot and how did you do the fake stabbing and the blood effects and everything. And I told him everything, right? You know, well, we did this and we did that and we put a blood bag on the back of the chair and whatever it was that we did at the time. And when the interview was over, he goes, well, thank you, David, I appreciate you coming down, whatever, da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, so that's great. Okay, thanks a lot. And he goes, so the reason you're here, he says, is that this guy that went missing, we think Mark killed him and filmed it.
So yeah, they thought he filmed it. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And I remember distinctly I laughed because I thought that was absurd.
Because it is absurd.
Because it's absurd. And then I realized he's serious. And so I started spiraling, like, what does this all mean? I had no information. I didn't know what was going on. I went back down. Bill took me back down, and he looks over at my wife and goes, wait till he tells you, and then walked away. And I was like, you are not going to believe what just happened. So, yeah. So, I started going through this sort of existential crisis because I couldn't believe it at first. And then it was like, how could this be possible? What kind of are they going to arrest him? How does this work? I didn't know anything about how they have to collect evidence or get DNA rushed or any of that other stuff. I think if I recall, I called Bill again at one point in time because he gave me his card, and I was like panicking on the road, and I was like, Bill, you got to tell me if this is real or not because I'm losing my mind. And he's like, David, I'm telling you right now, we 100% know he did this. We have the murder weapon. You just got to trust us to do this, and we'll be arresting him as soon as we get the DNA back, he said. And I was like, okay, and obviously this hadn't broken the news. It wasn't anything. This was just, me at my house drinking a lot of rum because I was like really on edge. Mark knew where I lived, Yeah.
So at no point were you considered an accomplice if this was done during the movie? Good, I guess.
No.
Good detective work.
No, I think because there were other crew members there, we had all made a movie. Everybody knew it was fake. The lead actor didn't disappear. You know what I mean? Like we're all still available. We all talked to the police, and all of our stories matched, right? So the only person that was an actual suspect was Mark. So
what do you know about Mark's interviews? What was the process with Mark's interviews?
When he was interviewed by Bill at the police station?
Yeah.
Well,
so when you were interviewed, so you were interviewed after they first interviewed him, or was this after his second one?
I don't actually know. I don't know the timeline on that. Yeah.
Because there were two interviews. The first interview, he was kind of cleared. It was kind of the same sort of idea as, oh, you guys were just busy with your stuff, and that's it. Then he himself volunteered the idea, oh, by the way, here's the victim's car.
My God!
He said
there
that he has
to be some psychology term for this, I don't know, the killer's instinct to overly bend in, or like the same way they sometimes are too helpful with police, or too don't commit a crime while committing a crime, or don't just constantly having an inkling to revisit the place where it all took place or something. Like there is some weird psychology there behind that. I can't help but feel like that.
Oh, totally.
But David, you were actually scared for your life. You thought, okay, this guy's he knows that I've spoken to the police.
He sent me and a bunch of guys an email, which I still have, by the way, basically telling us not to talk to the cops and that it's a witch hunt and all this other stuff, and don't believe what they tell you and all this other stuff. Basically, yeah.
Ooh. Whoa. So, okay, so you were scared. Yes, I would be scared as well. But
and now I'm an alcoholic.
No, but you were told that this person that you, because usually there's sometimes with true crime cases, people go, oh, he would never have hurt someone. I would never have said that he would have done that. And then other people say, yeah, there was something wrong with that guy. You said your initial reaction was to laugh because it's just absurd that that could just be.
Was that because of the situation or the guy's personality or what you knew about him?
He was just kind of a nerdy Star Wars dude who wanted to be a filmmaker and talked a big game about how he was talking to a bunch of he stole one of my suits, actually. It's weird looking back at him now because it turns out that everything he was saying was all some kind of manipulation, but we at the time had no idea, right? Like, for example, in the Star Wars movie, he borrowed one of the flight suits that I used for my film Genesis, okay? Because we were having a big guest star come in to play a character for a day in the Star Wars movie. It was Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett in the original Star Wars trilogy. He was in town at a convention, and Mark had convinced him to come down to the studio and shoot a scene for us. So Mark took my flight suit and sewed a bunch of Rebel patches to it and gave it to Jeremy Bulloch. We put it on him and we shot a scene with him. And when it came time for Mark to give me back my flight suits, of which there were 5, he gave me back 4. And it had turned out that he had auctioned off the flight suit that Bulloch had worn and pocketed the money from it. Yeah.
What as if he's not a cunt enough. Holy shit.
Oh, that's not even the worst. Like a friend of his, who was like one of his very close friends. Him and his father had actually given Mark something like 50 or 60 grand as a down for like, and I'm still friends with him to this day, by the way. His name is Joss, but, had given him a bunch of money saying, oh, we're going to invest in these movies and we're going to be filmmakers together. Right. And of course, Mark was just lying to everybody. He wasn't working. He was taking all the money, living off of it. He was leaving his house and his wife and his kid every day to go to coffee and do whatever the hell he wanted instead of actually doing anything. As he wrote SK Confessions. Yeah. Yeah. And that's not all. I mean, when Mark killed Johnny, he had to do something with his car. Well, Johnny drove a stick. He drove a manual transmission. And Mark didn't know how to drive a stick. So he called his friend Joss and said, hey, Joss, I don't know how to drive a stick. This guy just sold me his car for like $1.
He said $40.
$40 or whatever it was. Yeah. He said, I just met this great girl. I'm running off to Costa Rica to be with her or something like that. And here's my car. I'll sell it to you for $40. And so Mark claimed that Johnny
was
had sold him this car. Yeah. $40 to for this car.
This Mazda.
But he couldn't drive it. And so Joss drove the car back to his place. So he gave the victim's car to one of his friends.
Jeez. Oh my God. Fuck you, dude. Yeah. Wow. You just put the victim's car in your friend's house. Just like,
after stealing tens of thousands of dollars
if he
from
wasn't
him.
Such an ass about trying to make up a story about what to do with, like, oh, I bought it for a blah, 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 or actually, this and that. If that wasn't so blatantly stupid, it would actually look like an intelligent move of trying to like divert the evidence for it to be used by other people or something to, spread the and make it harder for it to all be traced back to him at least in some ways.
Oh, I know.
Or try to do some, but it's just the sheer.
Vanessa's right, because he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. He thought like the purpose of his short film was to create the excuse to actually purchase all of the necessary tools to commit the crime. He wrote this script because he had already planned to do this, right? So he wrote a script about a murder he was going to commit. And then made a movie about it in the actual location where he was going to do it.
But in the movie, he's killing cheating husbands. Woo.
Yes.
Okay. But in real life, he's like, oh, I can't get those people. You know what I'll get? Just a lonely man. I'll just find a lonely man. I'll just catfish, and it's fine. It doesn't have to be a cheating husband.
Babe, I want to kill cheating husbands. Honey, we have cheating husbands at home.
In the last podcast on the left or whatever it's called, they read some of the script, and it was.
I have it.
do you want to read us some of your favorite parts, David?
I'm only going to read the last scene because this is something that this was like reported on a lot. A lot of reporters read this, but we shot this scene, and thankfully the footage never made it to the media because it would have been played like gangbusters all day long.
I was actually going to ask you about,
because it's about the way the movie ends. So the movie is about this killer that kills this, cheating husband out of some sense of righteousness, right? But the movie ends with this kind of twist that it all turns out to be a story written by an author who's at home writing a story with his girlfriend reading in the other room or something like that. And on the floor is, it says here, he closes a script writing program showing the final notes of a thriller he's written and a website showing the inside workshops. The inside workings of a female profile on a cheater's dating site is the last thing to shut down. He closes the laptop, and the shell displays superhero stickers on it in a distinctive pattern. He puts it into a carrying case and leans over to close a duffel bag containing gloves, a stun gun, a black mouthless hockey mask with yellow streaks on it. He moves to his living room and kisses his girlfriend goodbye. She says, "You going
to gym?
You going to get a workout in?" And he says, "You bet. Got to relieve some tension from sitting so long." And she says, "How's the story coming along?" And he goes, "Really well, sweetie. Your advice was dead on. It's true what they say. The best way to succeed is to write what you know."
No.
Now Mark himself played that part in the movie.
The fucking audacity, Jesus! It goes on. I hate it.
He played the murderer in the movie.
And then IRL too. Nice.
No, but you see, I find him quite pathetic. He's one of the things that the guys said is like he's a freaking loser because he really was trying. It's a tryhard. Like the point is, like, I'm sorry that this is a murderer. I'm sorry, I'm speaking bad about your murderer ex-friend. Like, I don't know. How does that feel when somebody is speaking like that? When I speak like that about him?
I mean, you're pretty much nailing it. I don't know. Like that's about how I feel about it.
Yeah, like jeez. Okay, but one more before we get to my other questions. The question I wanted to ask you about the Star Wars film or whatever, because you said, "Are you looking for it?" Whatever. Isn't that kind of tainted for you? Because of all of this, like
what's tainted for me?
The Star Wars film and the others. So like these films can't be released anyway.
No. So shortly after all of this shit hit the fan and he got arrested, because it was like finally on of all days, Halloween, Mark was arrested.
Yes.
I knew,
for fuck's sake.
And I knew that
they arrested him. So cool.
And I knew because of how nuts the facts were that when this hit the press, it was going to be insane. And sure as shit, it was front page. It was like filmmaker accused of, murdering guy in garage he made movie in or something like that. And like, and then the phone calls came in and the concerned friends and then the journalists would, start reaching out through Facebook or through wherever to try to get a hold of me. And it just kind of went nuts from there. Yeah.
Were you worried, like yourself? You're like, what is this blowback going to be like for me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like basically I was just living in abject terror that people would associate me with the movie or that think that I was somehow involved with the murder, how it is. Like I wasn't a suspect, but like the stigma
will forever be attached to that case.
I didn't want to have to worry about any of that stuff. So I really, really worked to keep my name out of the press and to not talk to reporters and to not talk to the author, Lillibune. I only helped him fill in some gaps because he wouldn't leave me alone. But I never did a formal interview with him, and I never authorized him to quote me on anything.
Did he quote you?
No.
Okay.
So the only things he quoted me on in the book are the things that I said on camera that are like a matter of public record. So like the footage that they were able to retrieve that was shown on the news, because I think it was Global TV up here. They managed to find the drive that we'd shot the movie on from the rental house that Mark got it from, and they reverse engineered whatever they data recovered the pieces that they could, right? And so on some of that footage, you can obviously hear my voice saying, cameras rolling or cut or whatever, it is that I'm doing from behind the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question actually for you.
Sure.
If given the chance and like just a ton of funding for it, would you like make a version of this story from your perspective?
I've
your
thought
personal
about that.
perspective.
My sort of elevator pitch for my version of the Mark Twitchell story would be kind of like a black comedy where Mark was played by two different actors, the sort of doughy loser that he is, and then
what he thinks he is,
like badass that he thinks he is. So it's kind of a Fight Club sort of situation, you know, where like
type of thing.
He thinks he's Tyler Durden, but he's really Jack, you know. So like that was kind of my my elevator pitch idea for it. I didn't come up with any sort of story or anything for it. It was just if I were to tell that story, that's how I would tell it, because I want people to know how pathetic he is.
Yeah, that focus on what he thought he was, the way he thinks he is. That he sees himself as this Dexter. That one of the lovely things that the true crime community has done is called him the Dexter wannabe, because that's what he is. He's a wannabe. Yeah. The way he wrote that serial killer SK confessions bullshit, he really thought he was being darkly dreaming Dexter there. It was like it was
he was a Dexter fan. It's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever experience his Dexter fandom? Because he had a fucking page where he acted like Dexter.
Only a couple of times we were on set. I think it was still on the Star Wars set, and he was like, "Dude, you watch Dexter?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, it's a great show. You should watch it." Like, and he was just praising it. But I mean, the media obviously they got that, and I think they embellished. But I mean, it is true that he was a fan of the show. That's unquestionable. But they did blow it.
They did. They went crazy about him being inspired because of the kill room, the way the kill room looked and things like that. They put that on. But I love the way that the last podcast on the left or whatever spoke about. They're like, this guy was going to do this anyway. It's not that Dexter inspired him. It's that Dexter was just a certain character that he could start thinking about and start trying to emulate and start cosplaying, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Because that's what he was as well. He was a cosplayer that kind of seems like he went too far with this. But he was a proper sociopath. Were you ever taken in by his... Because you said he had these projects that he was pitching and things like that. Did you ever take him seriously?
Well, here's the thing about the film industry is everybody sort of bullshits a little bit all the time. So a producer, which is what he was trying to be, a producer generally tries to get money while they're also pursuing crew and cast, because they want to use the cast to get the money, and they want to use the money to get the cast. So it's like, so I would have never given him money as an investment, but like if he did find money and pay me to shoot a movie, you know, great. So I just kind of sat back, and I have old transcripts of chats we used to have in Google, where he was talking about, you know, talking to investors and talking to guys that were going to, you know, put however much money into the project here, and then we were going to shoot this and shoot that, and then we'd shoot a pitch for day players or whatever it was. So, like I do with all sort of, and the older you get and the more you do this, the more it's just sort of a common practice to just kind of like, all right, I'll believe it when I see it. And that's sort of the, you know, I'll believe it when the money's in the bank, you know, and sometimes a film can be canceled a week before it goes to camera. So you never know. So my hope was it'd be great. It'd be great if he could get us a little film community here with some sort of an income stream where we can all make movies and hang out and have fun. Yeah.
Paid. So this wasn't paid work at this point, or did he give you any bit of that investment money to work on this film?
No, we all worked for free.
Yeah, it was basically just a labor of love, creativity. We're all trying to make it.
Which is not unusual. Like I've worked on a lot of projects for no money. It's just part of the small town, small city film community. Everybody's just helping each other out. Like I didn't pay anyone on UFO either. You know,
everyone's just trying to make it. So they're trying to, because eventually, if it is successful, then maybe we can share the profits later, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
That's
I
right.
get it.
Everybody's got a project they're trying to shoot that's just a pitch for something else that they're trying to get money for. That usually never happens, right?
Right. My gosh. What good did you think he was doing? Oh, so yeah.
He thinks he's a Dexter type. If he thinks he's like Dexter, like Dexter, at least like in some parts, was trying to justify his actions, and like, oh, I'm only going to go after bad people. What if he's thinking he's Dexter? Like, what was Mark Mitchell thinking? Like, what good was he doing by luring someone in through plenty of fish?
You'll have to ask him.
I guess I will have to.
I mean, he still claims it was self-defense. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, just so you guys know that he changed his story. Yes.
Oh God, his testimony is wild.
Did he
Okay,
testified at his trial? He was the only witness to
In
the defense.
self-defense, he sold his car. Yeah. I don't know. That,
I am
that seems
sorry.
weird when you look at.
Excuse me.
No, do you guys want to? Do you guys want to hear the excuse? You want to hear it?
Please,
Okay, let's
please.
hear it. Go.
So Mark gets on the stand after 2 years of telling everybody that, oh, it'll all be explained. It all has a reason. I wasn't guilty of anything. I'm not a bad person. Blah 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 blah. And you'll all see. And he had friends who believed in him up until the day, right? He gets on the stand as the only witness to the defense. I wasn't there this day, but I read about it. And he goes, yeah. So I was writing about serial killers, and I wanted to create a real urban legend. And so I actually catfished guys and took them to my garage, where when they showed up, I was going to explain to them the premise of what I was doing, and let them go, and everything was going to be totally fine.
Oh.
And this was going to be part of his mythos building for this.
Definitely, that's how
It's
mythos are
but-
built. Yeah.
It's like the Blair Witch Project kind of stuff. Woo.
Unfortunately, Johnny became enraged, you see, because there was not a pretty girl there waiting to meet him in this garage in the middle of the
God damn Johnny.
Damn Johnny just got belligerent, and so Mark had no choice but to stab him or whatever it was to death. And then Mark became so panic-stricken that no one would believe him that he dismembered the body, which he did, and then disposed of the body, which, by the way, he tried to do by burning it in a burning barrel in the garage, which didn't work. And then he took the body to his parents' house and tried to burn it in the
Oh
backyard
my God.
in a barrel. And then eventually he dumped it down a sewer, where they found just bone fragments left when he finally told them where to find it. But yeah.
But he gave zero fucks. There was a sticky note.
Don't you bring him into this.
There was a sticky note in his car that told him what he needed to do. Is that true, David?
A sticky note in his car.
That reminded him to clean up the kill room and to
No
go and
way.
screw up
He
some
left
other.
us-
That is,
No way.
That's new to me. I don't know about that.
that is in all of the stories all of the podcasts they say it. But
If that's true, that's some video game level. That's bad
yeah,
video game
that's
level
stupid.
shit.
But even so, the point is what they did find in the car is the murder weapon and blood from the victim.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing too, is he wrote a document about his crime called SK Confessions. SK stands for serial killer. And the opening line is something like, "This is how I became a serial killer," or something like that. And he writes a story. He changes the names, but he writes a story about when he decided he was going to start murdering people and how he was going to do it, how he was lying to his wife, how he was cheating on her with his ex-girlfriend in the States, how he was, how he felt powerful and smart when a cop pulled him over, for speeding and let him go. And describes in horrible detail how the first guy got away and what happened to Johnny's body after he dismembered him, including using his head as a puppet. So it's
Jeez.
Do you believe that, David?
He wrote that. Do I believe it? Yeah.
Do you believe he did that? Because I was wondering about the psychology of it, right? Did he do it? The thing is, even if he did do it, he's so pathetic. The reason he's doing it is, look how hardcore I am. It's like he wants to be something substantial to such a point that he does that so that he's thinking of writing about it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, if you're going to
He's
sever
that
someone's
pathetic.
head, you might as well use it as a puppet. I mean, I don't know.
I suppose that's what you're gonna do. I honestly,
I mean, maybe
just,
he didn't. Maybe it was just him embellishing. I mean, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he embellished about quite a bit. He certainly had a high opinion of himself, and he certainly believed that he was smarter than everyone else involved in the situation, right?
Oh.
I can definitely see that now with the way he acted.
He certainly didn't have any remorse.
No, I suppose not.
Okay. Hey,
Have you,
Kitty.
when? Yeah.
I think I now understand what the draw of true crime is now.
Okay. What is it?
Well, getting to hear this perspective is definitely enticing and interesting. That's like I'm drawn into this story. That's for sure.
That's what is so fascinating to me is that the proximity towards it's like seeing a wild animal, and trying to figure it out. That's one of the things I do want to discuss with you, David. Is what did you think of true crime stories before you lived in one? Essentially, you were part of one. You got interviewed. You're a guy that was interviewed by the police, and you were a witness. That's fucking insane.
Well,
sorry.
I mean, because I also work in TV. I'm
Yeah.
aware of how things are manipulated so when I watch a TV show or a true crime show, like I know that this is cut in a way to make it intriguing or enticing or suspenseful or something like that. I do it myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you manipulative ass.
I mean, we're all just liars. We're just liars and cheaters. We lie with purpose.
They are
Mm-hmm.
part of the big cog of the media system, Kitty.
That's
Can you
right.
really fault them? They all just want to make ends meet.
That's right.
Lying.
So for me, it was just kind of interesting to see the media, what sort of nuggets they took and ran with and what they focused on more than other things. But I can't say outwardly that any of them got anything devastatingly wrong. I mean, they might have embellished some things or focused on some other things more intently, but ultimately they accurately reported for the most part what was there. The true crime version of this, like, is there a Forensic Files version of this? I don't know. It could be fun to watch. I've
watched
interested to
the
watch that.
True Crime Canada version of it.
Right.
I
know there's one where they actually brought
cool.
in actors and like reenacted whole scenes, like with
That
Michael
was-
Ironside and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, not that one. There was a little bit of reenactment in the snippet that I watched. It was the True Crime Canada thing. I think they had it was one where they interviewed the detective and whatever. But what I'm saying is so this hasn't like made you like you work on things with violence and everything. It didn't make you go, oh my goodness, I need to step away from all of this or whatever. You just took it in your stride, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I love what I do. I've known that I wanted to work in film. Since I was 8 years old, so like nothing was going to tear me away from filmmaking, you know.
Not even this douchebag who basically because that sort of thing can just like taint your career. Not in terms of practicality that no your career goes nowhere because somehow you were involved with this. It's more like, I don't know, psychologically I don't know that it would probably have an effect on me. But you were just like, no, this is over here. This thing that happened over there, it's not going to define the rest of my experience with my career.
I mean, it affected me for a long time, and I kept my head down for a long time, and I didn't talk about it for a long time. But I never stopped working in TV. I didn't work on anything true crime at the time. I've now since worked on some true crime stuff. But
did that bring anything up? Like, did it make you relive the events or anything like that? Cool.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I got too wrapped up in these new true crime stories. Right? I got sucked into it. Like when we were shooting up north or over in Squamish, BC, doing this. Like, and those stories are like they're all crazy. They're all crazy. There's always some missing piece of evidence and always some suspect that everybody thinks did it but didn't really do it. And you know when you track down a guy to his house who's, you know, the town has thought, you know, murdered a guy for 20 years and he's innocent, and, you know, you've got a hidden camera to try and, you know, capture the story, and you're trying to interview him about what his experiences have been and who he thinks did it. He's got a theory. He's got a guy who knows it. You get sucked into it, man. And like, whether you're shooting it or just watching it on TV, you can just feel the draw to like the need to know the truth, you know?
Just, that's the one of the draws.
I mean, this guy was inviting us back to the cabin where the murder, where the deaths happened. Were they deaths? Were they murders? Nobody knows for sure. You know, there was a bullet hole in the floor. Was that bullet hole there? Does it have anything to do with the murder? He offered to pull up his floorboards for us and film us looking for the bullet. You know, it was, you know, and like, you just get sucked into this stuff. It's like,
I can see the draw.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Explore with Us. Yes, Explore with Us probably has the interrogation there.
Oh, it's all public. Yeah.
Yeah. You basically one of those rooms that you went in. I'm sorry, it
might be the same room. I don't know.
Yeah, like the rooms that they and the guy. So one of the things that also did you meet anyone else? Did you meet the guy that made the victim that got away, the attempted murder guy?
No, I never met him. I found out about him well afterwards, because he came forward and then the media ended up talking about him, and then they eventually interviewed him. I know he's done some interviews and stuff. So I've never met him. No.
Okay. Yeah, he survived this botched attack, and actually part of that survival, the way that it was his story matched the story that was in the document, which basically was all the reason they spoke to you about the document, about the film and about the documents at all, was to show premeditation, to show that, listen, because they already had bro did this, but this was basically them trying to show intent, that it's like, no, he really thought this out. He wrote this whole fucking script. What was it like being on the stand?
On the stand? Well, what was interesting about being on the stand that I didn't know is that you actually stand on the stand in the courtroom that I was in. So you went behind this little stand, and you got to swear on the Bible. You're going to tell the whole truth and all that stuff. But I was standing. There was no seat there.
They still do that in Canada?
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing I didn't realize is that the Crown prosecutors actually wear like long robes. They actually wear like big black long robes.
Don't they also wear?
They don't do the wig, but they do the long robes. And there were two of them. There's a man and a woman that were the Crown prosecutors, and I was okay. So when I got my summons, so I knew what day I was going down, and with court, it's kind of, you never know what's going to happen. So I got there, and Joss was there, and another guy named Greg was there, and we had both worked with Mark on different projects. I think Greg might have helped him get a hold of some of the props, because he's a props masters guy who's like a fairly big time guy in the industry now. He worked on The Last of Us and stuff like that, but I got there, and we were basically the three of us were just sitting on a bench outside the courtroom, and they basically said, look, we don't know if we'll have time for all three of you. Someone else is testifying right now. We'll call you in if we have time. If not, you have to come back in the morning. And they came out and told me that they would have time for one more, and it was going to be me. And the person who had just testified was, after her second day of testimony, was Mark's ex-wife, Jess. And she walked out and looked at us. This is the first time we'd seen her since the whole freaking thing happened, because we knew her too, right? Wow. She visited us on, so, you know, and she kind of gave us this like weird, like smile of like recognition, but like, you know, she had just been through this ordeal and then just walked away, and I never saw her again. And then I got called in to the courtroom, and it's, you know, wasn't very big. It was a bit stuffy. I get in there, I do my swear on the Bible thing, and then they asked me just a bunch of questions about the garage, about the movie. I mean, those were the only things that I knew anything about, obviously. And then the defense asked me one or two questions. I've long since forgotten what the questions were or what the answers were or whatever. I know that at one point they showed me the mask, and they showed me the stun baton.
And you had to identify that or something, I'm sure.
They just asked me if I recognized it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen either of them since the movie. It's kind of funny actually giving testimony. You kind of realize that your memory's not totally great, because I actually didn't remember the stun baton. I remembered it as a stun, like as a taser, like as a handheld unit, but it wasn't. It was actually a baton, and I didn't realize that until I saw footage from the movie that I had shot that showed the baton, and I was like, oh fuck me, it was a baton. You know, like I just had completely misremembered it, because it was about 2 years since we'd shot the movie, the actual trial, right? So it's a long process to go through, and I was on pins and needles until the whole thing was over and he was convicted. He was convicted in about 4 hours of jury deliberation. It was fast.
Yeah, but the 2 years.
I was only on the stand for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It was really quick. I was not a key witness of any sort. I was just there to confirm some things about the movie. And I walked out of there, and I'm a footnote in a news story the next day. Yeah. Yeah,
but you were there to just give it to bolster the film evidence, I suppose. It's just carry on like, oh yeah, it's a nice accessory to push their case, I suppose. But you had to wait. It took 2 years for them to go to trial. What the hell? How does that even work? I suppose is that just the slow wheels of justice, or
it happens in America too.
Yeah,
trials take forever.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Because
that's pretty standard, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they had the evidence and everything, but I guess they waited. They had to wait that long. So
they had the evidence, which is why he wasn't released back on bail or anything like that.
Nice.
He was basically, because like depending on your level of the level of the crime and the level of evidence depends on whether or not they're actually going to let you out until your trial date. Whereas with Mark's case, it was kind of like, slam dunk. Yeah. They're just gonna, hang on to him until trial.
Yeah. That I really don't care about that, them holding on to him. But I suppose that's 2 years that it wasn't completely over for you either. That he wasn't, it wasn't
or Johnny's
done.
family either, right? Or any of us. Yeah.
God, imagine being family or even a girlfriend or a partner to this guy. I would even if they just assuming that you only see kind of the bright side of things because of maybe your connections or your perspective or how you see him or how you live with him or when you even see him or having only heard his perspective of things before. How mindfuck do you have to be by the end when this all goes down? Jeez, yeah.
Well,
you have to go back and question, was that manipulation too? What was he thinking
exactly
then? Was he already thinking about that? Or
imagine being his wife. She had just given birth to their first child.
Jeez, yeah.
The child was 9 months.
That's horrible. I don't know how, I don't even know who this person is, but my heart goes out to whoever has to live with this now. Wow.
The child, the dad is in there for 25 to life. I hope he never comes out. I don't see the point of.
It's actually life with the possibility of parole after 20 years, which you get time served. So his parole hearings are actually not that far away now.
That's
actually kind
scary.
of insane.
No, that's insane. Mm-mm.
I mean, I have it on pretty good authority that he's never going to get let out. But
I should hope so.
There is a chance he could be.
I don't know. They let the person who beheaded somebody on a bus out.
That's true. Well, he was never convicted.
Know.
He was found insane and sent to a mental institution. Mark is different because he actually got an actual life sentence in he was found of sound mind and body committing the crime, and he was sentenced accordingly. Whereas the bus guy was actually a wacko that they diagnosed as insane.
Big difference.
Yeah, but. Fair enough. I would argue I don't know how sane this guy is. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but you're kind of judging that by looking at what he did and not by some professional standard. I'm sure there are really clearly established guidelines by how to figure out someone's mental health when you're looking at whether or not it's an additional how it will affect their case, whether they did it under the influence of something, are they of sound mind, etc. Us just looking at well, that's insane, no reasonable person could do that. It's just a really naive perspective, and we have hopefully, I hope that there are professional standards for this, and they did a good examination.
he didn't seem like he was living in reality. I would have to think that there are some diagnoses that this guy could definitely be.
Would not living in reality or kind of building your castles out of dreams? I don't know if that's what Dumbledore said. Would kind of not living in reality and just daydreaming constantly about doing something else, being someone else, truly qualify for not being of sound mind? I don't think so.
Listen, if his defense didn't pursue the insanity defense, like there's nothing you can do. From what I experienced, the defense lawyer was pretty ineffectual. He only asked me one question. Usually on cross, you get grilled a little bit, right? I've learned that since, because I've watched a lot of trials now. But it's kind of fun. I wish I had known that going in. I would have probably handled myself a little bit differently. But that's the thing about being inexperienced with this sort of thing. But yeah, he. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Legally pursued the insanity
right, the insanity defense. Yeah, so like Mark thought he had it figured out. He was the only witness in his defense. The only witness was the killer. Like, he thought he could out-talk and outsmart the court by telling a story that fit all of the evidence and made him innocent. He thought that.
And could you see that he was confident? Was he surprised when he was convicted?
I wasn't in the courtroom when the verdict came in, and I didn't see him give testimony. I just watched the blog, the live blog on one of the journal sites here of who someone was in the courtroom. I never wanted to see him again, because you got to remember, and this is something I didn't mention before.
Yeah, I understand why.
One of the things I didn't mention before is that the last time I ever saw Mark Twitchell was him staring at me from the defense side of the courtroom. And I looked over at him, and he was looking right at me, and I looked away, and I never looked at him again. And I just gave all my testimony without ever looking at him after that, and I walked out and never looked at him again. I mean, I'd probably be cockier about it now. Back then, I was really timid and like whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this is still somebody who killed. He's pathetic, but he still killed somebody.
How would you be?
He still did something horrific. He still described. I mean, okay, so
yeah, but
well, you're only
serial. Yeah,
I'm just saying he did more than one attempt, though. Like, it wasn't like I don't know. He seemed to have multiple targets. That
he was an aspiring serial killer.
This was going to be an ongoing thing. He was going to keep doing it.
He was going to do it every Friday. Yeah. That was his thing. It was going to be his therapy nights, basically. That he would do it on a Friday.
Some people drink themselves on Fridays until they're, he just goes on plenty of nights and tries to,
I will judge God, okay?
Why you would pursue
forgiveness is for God.
I would understand why legally you pursue the insanity defense, but yeah, the arrogance from the guy, and also just all of the ridiculous amount of evidence seemingly pointing at the fact that no, it was premeditated, no, he tried it again, he does it again, like he is just, I understand why it was legally one of the few options left to like really pursue as a defense lawyer, but
I don't think they would have found him insane. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, like I am not a legal expert, again, putting it out there. Take everything I say on this topic with a massive grain of salt. But I don't see how you could provide sufficient evidence in these circumstances of insanity, because it's very clearly somebody who is thinking logically, rationally, planning out, encountering errors, altering the plan, etc., accounting for possibilities, and then manipulating others, and then changing the situation when it's like there is a very clearly a mind that thinks it's great, but it's arrogant, but still it has a logical plan for what to do in all of these circumstances, and not just meanders about or is completely out of touch with reality. So yeah.
Well, for juxtaposition, the guy on the bus, like he was like, the devil told me to do it. Like voices told him to do the things.
It's
like
it
was like he was like off the deep end, and they determined that these were actual schizophrenic, things that he was actually experiencing. With Mark, I mean, he wrote calmly documents. He wrote a script and made a movie about doing it before he did it. Like that's not insane. It's just not.
But if he's mimicking Dexter, though, did he not have the whole dark passenger thing going on? Like, would that not be a voice guiding him and directing him?
I don't recall that from the SK Confessions document that he wrote. He wrote about realizing he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
but I don't know that he had a dark. I feel like that's just a narrative device for a TV show to try and explain things to an audience. I don't think that's a real thing.
It was in the books. They went really weird with it in the books. Like in one of them, they have it existing like in the prehistoric ages. So it seemed to be like an actual entity that lived within Dexter. But they went a different route.
They took the Stephen King route.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. Okay, so when did you actually read that Confessions of a Serial Killer thing? Serial Killer SK Confessions, whatever. When did you land up reading that for the first time, and how?
I mean, I was obsessed with the case.
I
wanted to have every piece of information.
If you live that close to it, completely understandable.
So, so basically, whatever news outlet found it and released it first was when I read it. So whenever that was, I don't know if it was within the first year of it or what. I mean, everybody kind of knew about it right away. So I think I read it pretty quickly after he was arrested. I think, but it's been so long, I don't.
So that's what your mindset was. It's like, I want to know about this because it doesn't, just because you're in it doesn't mean you don't want to know about it. It's you want, maybe it's more, is it more confusing for you because you knew the person? I suppose. Would you say that this guy was your friend? I suppose you worked with him. He's your work friend.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't close friends. I'm not going to go around saying we were best buddies and I knew him. You know? But like, we wrote scripts together. Part of the Star Wars movie was shot in Arizona, so he and I, just him and me, flew to Phoenix and stayed, in a place together, and went to the set because these guys had built an X-wing cockpit and we were going to shoot scenes with the X-wing fighters.
Nice.
But I have pictures from that trip. Never before seen pictures
of Mark Twitchell,
because they've never left my hard drive.
Wow.
My parents picked him and me up from the airport when we got back. So like, I don't know, like I knew him well enough and I trusted him well enough to be alone with him, to hang out with him, to write with him, and to work with him. I wasn't friends with him outside of doing movie stuff, but I would say we were friends.
Yeah. That's fucking insane. Okay,
that's so crazy.
What would you say has been the impact of that? I mean, it's been a while now, so I should hope it's not as impactful as it would have been at the time.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I'm pretty good with talking about it now. It's a bit cathartic to talk about it now, and it's kind of fun almost to talk about it now because I'm so removed from it. I think it was about 2017 was the first time I started talking about it, and I was on a movie set, and I mentioned to somebody at lunch that I had known Mark Twitchell, and everybody in the immediate vicinity was like, "Holy shit, you knew the murder guy?" I was like, yeah, I was the cinematographer.
I worked on the murder film.
And like within 5 minutes, everyone was sitting down in a circle in the lunchroom, listening to me tell the tale. So I kind of realized after that point that it was okay to talk about it, and that it was actually kind of it was nice for the people listening too, because they got to hear a different perspective and got to hear about, because like our local industry in Edmonton, the Edmonton film community was basically harassed by media and stuff about this, and Mark the filmmaker. It's like, this guy wasn't a filmmaker. I directed half that fucking movie.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Like
we were insulted to be associated with this guy.
The stereotype is too strong. He will now be forever remembered in the media as a filmmaker.
They call him a filmmaker, and I'm like,
filmmaker. Yeah.
So what was it, speaking of which, what was it like working with him, seeing as he's a filmmaker? It seems like he was a little bit of a hustler piece of shit, but he didn't come
off like a hustler. Like, he just seemed like a normal guy. He just talked a lot of promising things to everybody, but it was never like balla. But what was it like working with him? I mean, frustrating. Because especially on Star Wars, because he was never around. We had an actor come up from the States who had done some bigger stuff, and he was playing Dash Rendar in a scene with Jimmy, and we would get to set at like 8 a.m. and we wouldn't shoot anything till 5 or 6 in the afternoon, which is like unheard of
Damn.
in film.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't
And-
make sense.
Yeah, so me, Christian, and Jimmy would just direct scenes and shoot whole scenes while Mark was fucked off somewhere else, you know, building a costume or whatever. Mark liked the idea of being a filmmaker without actually putting in the work to
Making
do it.
the film.
You know?
Act as an artist now.
I mean, he was more
I mean-
involved with the Killer movie. He was more on.
I
on
can see
set.
why.
The Star Wars movie is a little bit different because we were in one location in a studio in front of a green screen, and so it was easy to kind of screw off somewhere and go do stuff. Whereas when you're on a location, you know, in a confined space with 5 other crew members or whatever, you kind of just have to get the movie done, you know. So he was a little bit more involved in that. But I mean, I can be pretty assertive on set, and I kind of just take over when somebody's not doing anything. So, you know,
Yeah, you're wasting time.
yeah, exactly. You're wasting time, you know, and usually that's the job of the first assistant director is to keep everybody on the clock. But sometimes, you know, when you've got these small crews, it's kind of like everybody just has to pull their weight, and someone's got to
Someone's got to be the whip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
you don't actually have to go according to the hierarchy or whatever the official thing. It's just we're all working on this. We're getting this done. Otherwise, if we're not getting this done, it's going to take more of our time. Ugh.
Yeah, that's something that occurs in every small work group, not just like filmmaking. Like it's someone has to keep people on task.
It's a fun fact about the Star Wars movie though, because we got to shoot, like we did scenes with, you know, Princess Leia and R2-D2. We had a real R2-D2 there. We had we had, you know, Han and Chewie and Darth Vader. We shot a lightsaber duel with Darth Vader, which is really cool. And it's kind of funny. The movie was called Star Wars 3 in a Parsec. And it was basically the story was two split into 2 parts. The first story was how Han Solo gets the Millennium Falcon by flying the Kessel Run, and the second story is how the Death Star plans end up in the hands of the rebels. And in our version of the story, there was a lost Jedi found who infiltrated the Death Star. But basically, we were making Rogue One and Solo a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask, did that affect the way that you now see those movies? Does it feel like theirs aren't canon? I mean, you had the real.
That's right. I wrote half of that script. Yeah. I just thought it was kind of funny that we had basically made those movies. Yeah. And that Hollywood they really didn't do a whole lot different because, you know, Rogue One ends with a Darth Vader battle, right? Our movie ended with a Darth Vader fight, you know, like it was the same damn movie.
Oh, that's disappointing. It's like, thanks for shitting all over that by being a fucking murderer.
Exactly.
Like,
so many people got together. We're all Star Wars fans. We all love these movies. I mean, The Empire Strikes Back was the movie that inspired me to be a filmmaker. And we were making this Star Wars movie on a studio and just having the time of our lives hanging out with Chewbacca. And you know, it just gets ruined.
Now I just want to see the movie. God damn it.
I know, but now we can't see it. And that one of the biggest problems was that he couldn't do the 3D rendering or whatever himself. Or you couldn't get somebody to do it.
Well,
was he trying to get you to do it?
He talked a big game about, you know, knowing a guy who was going to do all the visual effects. And I mean, a movie of that scope is like, you need people working a lot to get even just a few scenes. I mean, my movie Genesis, which was shot on the same screen, I only finished it last year doing all of the green screen work. You know, because I've just been doing it myself over the years as kind of a hobby project. So the idea that we were going to get this done, you know, I mean, he was making some pretty big promises. And I actually ended up talking to one of the guys, if not the only guy he had talked to about doing the 3D stuff. And he was basically like looking at our footage going, oh, this is unusable and this is not, you know, we can't green screen from this. And I was like, yes, you can. I'm doing it for Genesis. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
They're just like, I don't want to.
Because I was wondering when I heard that from the podcasters, what they were talking about, they were talking about the the way he was trying to convince people to do this film. And I was like, was David one of those people that he was trying to just be like, hey, just work on my project for free, which is, yes, I know that that's what everybody does, but at the same time, you can't just drop everything you're doing and work on his project. Because do you know about him saying he was going to have certain cameos from big actors?
In what? In Star Wars?
I don't think it was Star Wars or some one of his projects. He was going to have the guy from Jurassic Park. What's his name?
Sam
Chris
Neill?
Pratt?
No, the old Jurassic Park.
The good one?
Goldblum? I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, he was gonna supposedly have Jeff Goldblum in one of his films.
I know he was supposedly courting Alec Baldwin for
Yes.
for day players. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
Is there a way for me to share
Crazy.
a screen?
Yes, you can. Click on
it's-
present in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
I
see
got
this-
it. I got
yeah.
it. I got it.
What are you going to show us? Are you going to show us
I
pictures?
found there's a picture of me from the Star Wars set.
He's going to
with-
show us his desktop wallpaper.
There you go.
Oh!
That's awesome.
That's
That
amazing.
That is a convincing
How
Chewie.
did that
Oh, they were
smell?
great. They were great. Yeah.
How did that smell?
He actually, it's so a little musty. He was like, these guys were professionals. Like these guys actually get hired to do like Lucasfilm events and stuff like that, right? Like they do meet and greets
bet.
with fans and stuff like that, right? So, and like the guy who plays Chewie, what's his name? It's not Greg, it's Gary. Gary, I think. But he would like do the Chewbacca sounds, right? Like he would be like, from behind the mask.
That's awesome.
It was great, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Kind of along those lines, when you're filming like the saber battles, was it hard getting people to not like do the sound effects? Like I don't think I could actually like swing a saber.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you do lightsaber battles whenever you can, wherever you can.
Are they
That is my
yours?
model.
Were yours? Do you think yours were better than what currently we get with Star Wars? What's your current view of Star Wars?
You know, I don't really watch it. I mean, okay, listen. I was one of those guys that watched. I was so stoked for the prequels for the Phantom Menace. Like I was at that age group where I had grown up as a kid watching Star Wars on beta and VHS, and I went to see the special editions down the road or whatever. But I was so excited, and I remember sitting in a packed theater and Star Wars came up on the screen, the audience goes crazy or whatever, and having this big giant smile on my face. And as the movie went on, I just got more and more depressed, being like, what the fuck is this? I was so let down by the Phantom Menace that I never did bother to see the other two movies and in theaters. And then I saw them eventually on home video, but I don't know. To me, it's the OG trilogy and that's it.
OG trilogy is great, but I mean, I have a soft spot for the prequel trilogy because when I was little, I'm a youngin'.
How old are you though?
Me, I'm 28. So
That's
like
why.
97 is when the movie came out.
That's
like
why.
I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it like from like 1 year old onward. I was watching that shit every day.
It's good that people are able to distinguish whenever they can between the feelings of, oh, this thing was great, or
I know it's
I
not
enjoyed
good.
this because I was young and then it was cool. Like for me, I'm not a big movie person, but there was this absolutely horrendously messed up video game that overpromised and underdelivered and was steered into oblivion. It was absolutely horrendous. It didn't go out well. It's called Spore. And it is an absolutely horrible video game. It's a good example of what not to do when you develop a video game. But I love it because I was little when it came out and I played it all the time. And looking back, I can tell that, yes, this is a trash game, but the nostalgia and the childhood memories and just the childish enjoyment of it just carries it for me. But it's good that people are able to distinguish between the, yes, this is quality thing versus, well, I enjoy it because of when and how it happened.
Oh, what do we have here?
So this is a photo of me on set with this is a kind of a funny picture. This is not a Star Wars movie. This was another movie I was doing, and we had these tubes that I was using for lighting, and we just put gels on them to make them colored and
Yeah.
so we did this like lightsaber battle. So this picture's
That's
hilarious
awesome.
because we're watching Star Trek on the TV behind us there.
That's not
Yeah.
Star
Oh, yeah.
Trek.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it is. That's the hologram doctor.
That's
from
the hologram
Voyager.
doctor from Voyager, and those are Romulans. Yeah, so it's Star Trek.
Fair enough.
While we're having a lightsaber duel on a movie that's not Star Wars that we're shooting.
Whoa.
That was fun.
Did you do the sound effects?
You'll always do the sound effects when you just
Of course.
But did you do it slow? Yeah. So wait, did you have these kinds of experiences with Mark then? Because you were nerding with him.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's.
You said that they were friends.
Yeah. Peak geek. Yeah, so I guess you were geeking out with them, and I guess that's how do you view those experiences now? What does it feel like looking back at them? Do you just go, oh, I should have known, or whatever? You don't. There's nothing you could do.
You got to remember that like this was a group effort. I'm going to send you another photo here to show you what I mean. This is from our Arizona trip. This is never before seen Mark Twitchell photo that
let's go.
has never been on any documentary or anything ever. This is an
Only on the
world
Thinkers.
exclusive right here.
Yes, the font of your news information and.
So this is a crew photo. So as you see, like these are a bunch of Arizona kids working at out of a university, and so this was their X-wing set. Obviously, one of our X-wing pilots here. So let's see here. So that's me back in the day. That's young David,
Long
and
hair.
that's obviously there's Mark right there. Dun, dun, dun.
Bro, look at the face compared to everyone else. Like he thinks he's hot shit.
Right? Like
Well, he's in the center of it all, isn't he?
He's in the X-wing though.
Everybody looks crazy when you do this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This was before red eye filters, obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that is.
So the thing about making movies is that it is a team experience. It is a group experience.
Is that a moon in the background?
No, that's I think
that's no moon.
That's I actually think that's just dust on the lens or dust in the air or something. It's
an orb.
It's an orb. That's what they would call an orb. Yeah. This was shot on an old Sony, like one of those little point and click cameras. Like this is before smartphones, people. Okay.
Do you have to
You're
take this
so
to
old,
the
Dave.
what the heck, the Radio
I'm only
Shack to
43.
get them developed?
No, obviously these are digital, but it wasn't far off from the time where we did get photos developed. You could back in this day, you could still go and get film developed at like, your grocery store. But or maybe it's not that old, but anyway. Is that so the Mark Twitchell part is the bad part of it. But like on the Star Wars movie, like I said before, is like I worked with all these passionate lovers of Star Wars and Han Solo and Chewbacca and Darth Vader and R2-D2 and built all these fun sets, and my friends were dressing up as Imperial stormtroopers and like Mark can't take away those memories. Mark can't take away that fun.
Yes.
And after we wrapped the movie and Mark had been arrested, I remember one of the guys who was on Mark's side, he was still friends with Mark, and believed that Mark was somehow innocent of all the crazy things.
Is he in this picture?
No.
Okay.
Can we put Boosh McFadden's message up? It's a question directly for David.
I want an honest answer. How much did you spend on Monster Energy per week?
I don't drink energy drinks.
How did you make it through the shots?
People nowadays think that that's the only way you could possibly go through some intense work like that.
It's all cocaine all the time, baby.
I was gonna actually ask you that. But I love that. I love that perspective that you're just like, yeah, cool. I was wondering, like, could this really you could have taken this very badly and it could have tainted absolutely everything for you, and it hasn't. So go you. Taint. Giggity. No, I'm serious though that he hasn't taken that from you, which is that makes me very, very happy because it's insane to me. Because like just having him in this sort of picture, like it obviously for me, it's new to me, so I'm like, fuck that guy, I hate him. Ooh, So I
The one
really
thing Mark
want
was
them
good
to-
at was bringing people together to create movies. Whether or not he was a good filmmaker or whether or not he was a good director, I never felt he was a good director, but I felt he could be a good producer. And as a director and writer and creator myself, I want good producers because they find the money, they find the talent, they find the people, and
So that you can
they're able
do
to
your
bring
thing.
people together to create the films and give us the freedom to make what we want to make. And that was my hope for Mark. Wasn't that he was going to be a director or filmmaker per se, but that he was going to be able to bring the dough, bring the money, bring the moolah to get this stuff made.
But now that's what he could have done. So you actually see that he had skills in that regard if he could hustle and get everybody together. But it's one of the perspectives that is given by the people that have documented this and retold and told the story is he saw he wasn't being successful as a filmmaker. He wasn't feeling the glory of filmmaking the way he expected. So he went and decided to become a serial killer and become infamous in that way. And that way he gets this narcissistic charge of I'm cool and formidable because I killed someone. What do you make of that?
That's an interesting perspective. I don't know how I feel about that because I kind of feel like he really thought he was going to get away with it. I don't think he wanted to become infamous as a serial killer. I think he felt that he was actually going to just coast on his plan for 20 years, you know, and continue to be a filmmaker. I don't, maybe not. Maybe
Are
not.
you sure?
Maybe not. He was obviously lying to everybody about what he was doing. He was keeping people's money.
Running out of it.
And running out of it. So, but like whether or not he was trying to be infamous, maybe. I don't know. I think he got off on the manipulation. I think he writes about it where he talks about the real power that it gives him is the sense of power over other people's perception, that he could make you believe that he was something he wasn't. And that's what made him feel big. Whether or not the infamy of it is a part of it, I suppose it is. I mean, a lot of these narcissistic killers, you know, get off on the fame of it all, but I don't know. Duping delight, Darling says in the chat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically. So
he had to know it was temporary, though. Like he was being so sloppy about it. Like
he had to know. But I mean, if he was that sloppy, did he really know, or is he just kind of a fucking moron? I don't know.
Or just that's the thing. He's so like you said. And the way Vanessa put it, that if he was as smart as he thought he was, he would have gotten away with it. But he just thinks that everybody else is less than him, so they won't come across it.
He really thought
Well,
that making the stuff up about the car would just allow him to close by. So he isn't very.
Here, let me give you like a slightly different perspective, because the cops did tell me something. They said, look, Johnny just disappeared.
Yeah.
Now, if they didn't have some kind of a record that said he went here to this garage, he actually had texted a friend. I think he had texted a friend that I'm going out
the
to do this
directions.
thing. If he had not done that, it might have been a lot more difficult to figure out where and how he disappeared. Because if they didn't have access, because Mark broke into his house and like deleted all his history and everything else.
Wow.
So like it's actually kind of weird, because if you don't know where Johnny disappeared, you don't even know where to start looking. And if you don't know where to start looking, then none of this unravels.
I mean, the car would be a good start. Like,
why?
I don't know.
Yeah, but the car and him.
If
No one would know who had the car at that point, because they wouldn't know where the car was.
They would have
just
to,
be
like,
found
the
somewhere.
fact that, you know, you put it back essentially. That's another interesting choice that he made. That he was going to give the car away to someone who is going to drive it around, and then potentially, you know, eventually somehow it will be reported that, hey, that's a stolen car, and it's going to be traced back. You know,
how can he
I don't
report
know
a
that it
stolen
would be.
car if he's dead?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that it
mean,
would be reported as stolen, but
Not
from
stolen
all the
as
true
in-
crime stuff that I've looked at, once a missing persons, like report is out there, they do have your information. Like, okay, this vehicle is registered to them.
Sorry, I
if they
didn't
see that
mean
vehicle,
stolen.
they would then have questions.
Sure.
But still, it would take a while to get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mean stolen. I was just I meant that he was putting out an extra risk, basically,
No,
for
just
an additional thing to be discovered that could lead back to him.
no. His first the first interview that they had, he wasn't. They didn't think it was him. They thought he was just a guy around there.
I mean, could it have been really
and
sure.
his stupidness about this, I'm sure they would have eventually found the car and whatever. But the point is, they didn't have much of a disappearance case without the fact that he was there. He was he had gone to this, and the way that he tried to keep this away was that he didn't give an address. He gave instructions on how to get to this garage.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that really fucks me up, David, is that you went to that garage. That garage was a place that you had worked.
And just to be clear, the murder happened after we shot the movie,
Yes,
not before.
yes.
So yeah.
But he did try to say that the blood that they found there was because of the movie. He tried to use that as an excuse.
Yeah. Look at all this fake blood everywhere.
Look at this luminol really picks up the fake blood really well.
They used
wonder what that is.
long lost techniques of actors getting wounded for real to film this movie.
It's not Texas Chainsaw Massacre, pretty much.
What?
Oh, there were so many actual injuries on that. The guy with the chainsaw was using a real chainsaw. There was real guts that was on the scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Movies used to be hardcore, bro. Like when they filmed The Evil Dead.
The cutting scene for the finger, she actually got her finger cut. Yeah.
Another one of the details that you can confirm is apparently one of the things that people were saying about how inept his film set was, is that the actor that played the victim in the House of Cards film, they had to use real duct tape. So this person got duct tape taken off his face several times. Over and over for every shot. Is that you smiling? Oh.
Is it fact or fiction, folks?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for the answer? That is 100% true. Yeah. we actually duct taped him to the chair. Yeah. I didn't do it, but some of the crew guys did it. But yes, we 100% actually duct taped him to the chair. So the actor could not get out of the chair. He was stuck there with a crew he didn't really know in a movie where he gets murdered. So there you go.
Oh,
that's
disturbing. But I suppose it wasn't disturbing at the time, which is good.
I mean, I was like, do we really got to tie this guy, or can we just make it look like he's tied down?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a low budget movie. Just tie him to the chair. You can cut the tape off. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, it looks. It'll take more effort to make it look that way than
than to just duct tape him to the chair. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just his hands. It wasn't like his actual face, because I guess they want to use that. The true crime guys want to use that because the survivor actually got duct tape put over his eyes and then he ripped it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we shot
all of his
scene like
eyelashes are gone in one scene, and you wonder why.
Well, you kind of destickify that tape, right? Like you get the kind of most of the sticky out of it, and then you put it on their mouth and rip it off, and then the acting just takes over, and they go, like as if they'd just been,
You're telling me the acting is fake?
The acting is real.
The acting is real. It's real acting.
It's real acting.
Right.
They're true lies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate that shit.
So wait, with House of Cards, you said so with the Star Wars one, you did a lot of, you basically were directing and putting a lot of input. House of Cards, did you do any changes or things like that to the script?
No.
And how did you deal with that?
No,
so
this was not my type of movie. I wasn't thrilled on the project. I don't really care for the subject matter. I don't want to shoot a fucking snuff movie where we just kill a guy in a garage for 20 minutes. I don't. It does not interest me at all. I like space lasers and explosions, and I like fun.
You're a nerd.
Yeah. All my movies are science fiction, so.
Why not? So it was, but you were just like, okay, fine, I'll just do this project. Did it strike you as odd that this is now what we're doing? Like we
Yeah.
did Star Wars and now
Yeah.
we're just doing this. What the fuck's
Yeah,
this?
I was like, why are we doing this kind of movie? Like, this is like a 180 from anything else that we've done. You know, we were doing Star Wars or we were doing comedy, and now all of a sudden we're doing this weird murder movie. And I considered it to be weird, but whatever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I've
You're
filmed
not
some-
gonna go. Yeah. You're not gonna go. Oh, it's because he's a murderer that
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like your brain just doesn't make that connection. You know.
No. Oh, Jesus.
Was
No,
it
rest
like
in-
unusual that he's doing something, he's taking much more proactive role in this than before, or did you just explain it away with something else?
Ah, good
That's
question.
a good question. Yeah, I think he was more proactive in the murder movie than all the other projects. Yeah, like I said, he was less inept on that film than he was on the Star Wars movie.
Oh, he was
'Cause it
passionate.
meant more to him. Oh, fuck off. Oh.
I mean, he put himself in the movie, right? He played the writer at the end of the script and the killer. I remember shooting that shot too. I remember lighting it. I lit it from below to give it that kind of, that sort of creepy look as he looks at his.
The M. Night
girlfriend and says,
Shyamalan
"Write
did?
what you know."
Yeah, look, like that is such a cringy line, but also he's wrote what the whole thing, the way it all just played out is just.
He
it's
wrote a
epic
character
and
who
horrible
wrote
at
what
the
he
same
knew
time.
by writing what he knew. It was
doing
Inception.
what he wrote.
Inception.
It did what he wrote and wrote what he knew and knew what he wrote. It very very creative. Did you ever? One of the other things I heard was he had even abbreviated this creative genius of his, internal creative genius. Did you ever speak to that? Did you ever hear about the ICG from him?
ICG.
Mm-hmm. It's
gonna
his
have to-
internal creative genius.
Oh.
Mark Twitchell apparently had this.
I know that he called himself a savant on the stand.
Wow.
Well, he was on
that's
drugs
gonna,
at the
that's
time,
gonna make you.
That he just had these ideas that came to him, and that's how he. That's what's his genius. Yeah.
Did you shared that chapter video? You've seen it, obviously.
No,
So
I didn't watch it.
Oh, have you seen? Okay, well, at the end of that, he's actually on the dating site, for convicts or whatever.
Mark is
and
on the
he-
dating
There's
site.
a dating site for convicts. All of the things I'm learning nowadays.
Well, I mean, he's still
this is-
alive.
He's still
Come on.
catfishing in prison, folks.
I don't know.
Don't
I'll-
fall
I'll
for
get-
it.
I'll get it for you.
Oh my God, see now I'm learning things.
Wow.
The
His-
project we're working on for Mark, there's a potential that we might go visit him to shoot a scene. So I might actually go see him at some point, but that's a
Ooh.
big old frickin' maybe.
How's that? Okay, it's a big maybe. How do you feel about that? Is that what would
No, kind of morbidly curious at this point.
you seem to that? I think that's a healthy curiosity that you have. I don't think it's. I think it's because you have dealt with it properly. You are able to be curious about it.
I mean, I drank a lot. I don't know how properly I dealt with it.
Well, you
was
made it on the
dealt with.
made it out. You made it out. But so okay. So look, this is what I mean by the. This is the shots
see?
that they usually talk.
John Altoner is not a name we've known. Nobody.
So David might have gone into this kind of room, but anyway. So yeah,
It wasn't this room. It was like this room. I wasn't at a table. I was sitting in a chair.
so here's his dating profile. He's convicted of murder. Expected release date 2027.
See, I told you
Okay.
it's coming up.
Interested in corresponding with women.
My creative engine never slows, so I produce artwork constantly and craft novels or screenplays to manifest my relentless imagination.
He's got a relentless
Who?
imagination, you guys.
So he hasn't
Who
changed
drew
that
the
all
picture
day.
of him?
Insightful,
I think
it's
he
a
probably
filter.
did. I think he's an artist.
Really,
Yeah.
it looks like a filter. I think.
and philosophical,
Could be.
with a great sense of humor. I enjoy
Does he have a great sense of humor?
Yeah, you can take a joke.
Enjoy
One of
tennis,
the-
chess, and
one of the quote unquote jokes that he and I had on set was just quoting like Team America. Like that was about the extent of our humor.
You had reference humor.
every time an actor did something silly or flubbed a line or whatever, we'd always be like Top Gun actor, and that was our in joke.
You did, yeah. You had
I
reference.
was assuming it was Matt Damon, but fair enough.
Also
Oh
Matt
my
Damon.
gosh!
Matt Damon.
Speaking of which, he has said who he wants to play him.
Really?
In his and Matt Damon was a.
Can it be Matt Damon from Team America though?
Matt
that would be
Damon.
awesome.
Matt Damon's way too old to play Mark Twitchell.
I don't know where they got this from, but it was the last podcast on the left or whatever. They spoke about. I don't know if it's from the book, maybe, because their source for their podcast was that book, Murder. That one that actually you referred me to. But it was Matt Damon. That there were 3 actors he was interested in. I'll go and look. But let's see.
This is amazing.
I love the rain and the music of artists like Sia Jackie, Evancho, and Arcade Fire. I'm looking for an interesting, intelligent, open-minded, delightful, imperfect woman to relate to and share amusing observations with.
What the fuck is this?
Well, I mean, he's not looking for a perfect woman. It makes sense.
I mean, at least
Like,
he's not looking for
lowered his
perfection,
standard.
ladies. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he's being
Come
realistic
on.
here.
Yeah.
he's eminently reasonable.
Eminently, yes.
And I'm sorry, if you have to read this, convicted of murder, that ends it. We're not talking anymore, guys.
Sorry. Interested in corresponding with women.
Listen,
Yeah,
man,
sure.
they only convicted me of murder, man. I'm innocent, man.
I'm innocent. Yeah, sure. That we've spoken about. Part of what we were talking about last week with the true crimeness is that there are people that are interested in these kinds of.
Ladies, don't listen to Vanessa. You can fix him.
Yeah, leave him alone. Exactly. This is what what's the name
or screenplays to manifest my relatively imperfect woman, to relate to and share amusing observations with, as well as potentially a long weekend every few months, if it gets there naturally. Though, if you ever go over to his place by yourself, that's on you.
That's victim blaming. But
Wow.
yeah.
I just want to put it out there. If we were to make this movie and you were to switch Mark into being like Sydney Sweeney, like it would be a blockbuster hit.
Just put boobs in it. Is that? Oh,
Just
by the
put
way,
boobs in
that's
it.
gonna be a think. We're gonna do the boob think.
Wait, we're gonna do a think on boobs? I'm thinking about
Yeah.
boobs all the time.
Oh,
There you go. So, yeah, it's the boob think.
When are
it
we
seems
not
like
thinking about boobs, guys? What are you talking about?
I'm pro.
I'm pro boob, yes.
Even women think about boobs all the time. Come on.
Oh yeah.
think about our own
Anyways,
Anyway,
Mhm.
So
It's on
out
YouTube.
of a
yourself,
weird-
guys.
So it seems like a lot of the women or men who are interested in the convicts, it is something about, like not actually having like that close connection. With him getting released in like 2 years, do you think that kind of takes him off the market for some of those people? Like they're kind of looking for that unavailability.
interesting. They're like, well, I'd be interested, but you're getting out, so I'm getting away.
Yeah.
I
I'll
don't
correspond.
I don't know. I mean, my understanding is that this is just a parole hearing and that the likelihood of him actually getting approved is pretty low. But I mean, I don't know. I might be very unpleasantly surprised in 2 years when they go, Mark Twitchell out on bail. See,
And then we're like, have you guys seen David online?
and then I go back to hiding, and he'll be like, "You were on Kitty's stream, you son of a bitch."
Oh, geez, yeah. All of you guys close there. He won't get to me. I'm in Dubai. He won't get to me, so it's fine.
Whatever. You're the one looking at his dating profile, Kitty.
Yeah, that's true.
David, can I just like I have a request of you. If he comes after you and tries to kill you, can I at least confidently say that you mentioned the podcast when he was killing you.
Please get a promotion in before you die, okay?
Yeah, just I want to make sure so that I
killing
can
me,
tell
and as I
people-
lay dying, and
So
I'm
if
not.
you can
That
say,
don't get you
then I
please,
can confidently
please
say-
like and subscribe. That dark
Exactly. Exactly. Because I'm just thinking about like if we can confidently say that you died after this, we need to say like it's because the dude watches our show.
Oh, what he
We'll
found
go
because he
after
watched
you
the
wherever
show.
you go after
It would be
that,
our
and
fault.
We'll verify this information.
Yeah, maybe
It
don't
would
go
not
on
be our
Kiddy's
fault.
stream, people. It gets you killed.
That would be amazing, like for
sometimes.
virality, but
No, I don't want that kind of thing. Jesus.
oh come on, it's
would you
funny.
be? Would you be?
So
would
you're
you
saying that you don't want a silver lining to a murder? I mean, free advertisement. though.
Always looking.
I
for
see this
silver
as an absolute win.
The first time you brought this up to me was when I was considering doing true crime diagrams. So, because I wanted to do a timeline of crimes, because that's one of the easiest things to do is the timeline.
A
they
crime
do it
line.
a crime line. There you go. In
The
in
Kitty Crime Line. That's your new
into-
channel name.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Thank you. Bye. You gave it to me, right? You were all here. He gave it to me. But that was when you brought it up, and I wrote it down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but you heard it. Sorry,
Right, you
carry
gave-
on.
yes.
You already said it.
I said it twice.
Clip it. Clip it.
I think I said it 3 times now.
Clip it,
Okay,
CP.
now are we done? Are we done? Yes, sis. With that joke. His final words were subscribe to that John Kitty and check out Thinkers every Thursday.
Yeah.
No,
It's gonna be on
guys.
my tombstone.
No, you got a lot going on. I think it would be freaking cool if you worked on the movie.
Well, that'll be in the Gardic Phone.
Poetic. It would be poetic justice, I'd say. That you know what? Fuck you. I went and did something.
I just want to be a consultant for the guy playing me, and I'll be like, all right, this is how you do it. Okay, this is what it
Yeah.
was like.
Why don't you
At
just
the
play
very
you?
least.
But
At
you
Have
the
an actor
very
follow
least.
me around, like to learn my mannerisms.
Well, okay,
So
so he
Use the
he wants Matt
stream as
Damon to
a-
play him. Who would play you, David?
Henry Cavill.
I mean, that'd be pretty awesome.
No, I
Henry
don't know.
Cavill starring David Puff starring Henry Cavill. Let's go.
I'll take it. Sure, why not?
But I really
Perfect.
like that idea of the fact that you would, if you wrote the story or the way you would do it, is to show him as these two different people that he thinks, the person he thinks he is and the person he really is. This nerdy guy that's just trying to be formidable and scary, and then actually just a normal dude, just an ordinary
C.S.
guy.
Paffy says Charlie Day. I like that.
Charlie Day.
I like that.
Well, you also got a Morgan Freeman out there. I mean, either way, I think it would work.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, we do need to do a diversity thing.
Come
So
on.
I suppose, yeah. Sorry, we're gonna have to
Will
race
he
swap you,
even be
David.
alive in 2 years?
Alive or live? What do you mean? We don't
I
know.
believe in him.
Get busy dying.
They get the boy from Stranger Things to play Kitty.
Yeah, Chris Wolfhard.
No, and it's Finn, but no,
Finn,
the other
sorry,
one.
not Chris.
Oh god.
It was
Well,
a haircut joke.
They'll gender swap
Ma-
me. That's what'll happen.
They'll gender swap you.
You'll be
No.
Sydney Sweeney. Got
Yeah,
it.
I'll be Sydney.
Don't.
I
Nobody.
mean,
If
I'm not opposed to it.
I'll be played by Zendaya in the Netflix adaptation.
Zendaya or
Okay.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
There you go.
okay, guys, go into I suppose the true crime bit is over. Speak to David about cinema. All the questions. Go.
Cinema.
It's an event.
The opening shot to your reel, and I think there was a shot like halfway through. Those were drone shots, right?
Yeah, that was my house. That was shot in my backyard. Yeah.
Oh, now we know what your
beautiful
house looks
property.
like.
Now you know where.
Yeah,
now you know where I live.
Reverse search.
But one question: when you're doing like a drone shot, like I don't know, do you know exactly what shot you have before?
Well,
I don't know.
You watch the shot on the monitor, like you have.
I know
a
you got a monitor.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think it would be hard to see how like jerky the movement would be from like the monitor and the drone. But maybe I'm overthinking it.
No, it's
All right.
it's surprisingly intuitive. I mean, if you play video games, it's like controlling a camera in a video game, and you know, like one
Oh.
joystick is up and down and left and right, and the other joystick is forward and back, right? So it's just a matter of figuring that out. The drones have amazing stabilization, so they don't bounce or shake or anything like that. You just fly them as long as it's not super windy. You can fly, and they'll fly for miles. You can fly them 5-6 miles away and shoot these
I want
massive
one so bad.
shots. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So basically, on that occasion, that was actually footage from me just actually learning how to fly a drone because I wanted to make sure that I had that skill set. So, I just borrowed a friend's drone and just flew it around my yard, and yeah, I just tried to think of as many interesting shots to shoot, and I shot, I don't know, 20 minutes, 40 minutes or something like that of just like different shots, big wide shots, arcing shots, low flying shots, swooping shots, tracking shots, through the tree shots. I don't know, just different things. Because you also control the camera as well. So like the camera will tilt up and down depending on how you're doing things. So it's just a matter
All
of
the B-roll you could ever desire.
exactly. So like there's tons of footage obviously that don't make the demo reel. It's like, you know, there's 3 shots in there, and I've since flown a lot more drone stuff. Like, so when I update my demo reel, I'll add a lot more of that new drone footage that I've shot, like the stuff that I did on the Crypt trip and stuff like that will get thrown in there because there's some really gorgeous shots that we shot on that show. Yeah.
Patrick is asking if you did any of those loop-de-loop shots. Apparently, is that a thing?
Trick
No,
shots? Let's go.
I'm not aware of any loop-de-loop shot. You can't really flip the drone around. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I don't think
It's got to
that's
be
how
designed for it.
Oh, come on, you know what? Get a Terrence Howard drone, and
Well,
you'll be able to.
Actually, Kitty, it's funny because like drone racing is the one of the most popular sports in your country,
Yes,
like
I
where you are
know.
currently. So
Yeah.
it's like those things can loop. That's for sure.
I haven't gone to see it live because it just looks stupid live. It's
It
okay
looks
to
so
watch it.
cool from the POV stream.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like you're flying, basically.
Then why would you go to see it live then if you just
yeah,
need
exactly.
to see the POV stream?
This is how I feel
the
about
footage is
baseball
the
games.
interesting part. Yeah, not the actual. Because drones are actually
But
kind
it's
of
fast.
ugly and annoying. They're like zzz, and they
Very
make
loud.
noise and,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're so energetic, David. You're so passionate about what you're doing. I'm
That's
like,
just
you're
the
like, oh,
cocaine.
you're like, oh no, I wanted to get that skill of drone. Like, you could just be a drone pilot, I suppose. But you were just like, okay, cool, I can do drone shots. I just want to do that.
Most cinematographers and stuff will do a combination of a lot of different things. So drone shooting cameras, yeah.
Drones are just so awesome. Like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't eliminate cranes, but there's so much more that you can do with a drone and so much quicker.
Yeah, it doesn't eliminate cranes, especially techno cranes, which can get very specific repeated movements, which are really, really great. And you know, I've shot on boom arms and stuff like that before, but drones are a godsend for low budget movies because you can get these great big epic shots that you could never get, you know, ever get in a
With
million
the-
years, you know,
yeah.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, right? So yeah, they're great. Love them. Love them.
What I wanted to ask you was one of the things we were talking about actually earlier on, is in terms of how you this career of yours, the way it's like you have projects that's what you're doing. Like that we're lucky we got your time this week, and then you don't know what's going to happen going forward if you've got another project. Like, it's quite it's not an easy way to live the way you're living, but you love it seems like.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I ever had to go back to a 9 to 5, I'd call up Mark and be like, just kill me, dude. Just
Make it easy.
Subscribe to Kid 8 and kill me.
No, you'll do.
There we go.
Did you
now
say?
you can get royalties as a corpse.
No, he said Crypt Trip. He said Crypt Trip.
Crypt Trip.
That sounds like a movie that you would.
Crypt
you would
Camp
enjoy.
is an actual show, and Crypt Camp is part of an inspiration for this show, and part of the reason why we felt we could actually use the word crypt. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about cryptids. You know.
Now it's about the crippled people.
Sorry, I'm just so pure-hearted.
I have a crit pass. I have a crit pass.
Yeah, you actually, I don't know. I think you need to have that. I need that recorded by this said cripple.
Well, the show is called The Crip Trip, and you could probably do a Google search on some of the media releases for it. So like it's a real thing, and you couldn't promote the show without saying the name of the show. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of that's what it is. So we had Crip Trip printed on the front of the RV. In fact, I have the RV in my yard that's been been stored at my place because I've got an acreage. So yeah. It recently blew up. I tried to drive it into the city for some pickup shots a couple weeks ago, and it blew up on the highway, and I had to have it towed back. Yeah.
Will I find this on YouTube? The Crip Trip?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if it's on YouTube. I know that we had some social media presence on TikTok, but there is definitely some social media like from the trip, like while we were on the trip, and there's some behind the scenes stuff that was shot on the road. Some of our breakdowns, that sort of stuff.
This is all about the Crips and the Bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
I need to see like Crip Trip, but it's like Pineapple Express.
Mm.
Like it comes to mind.
What, like
Sounds
this buddy cop thingy?
Sort of like a buddy trip, but you know, it's there's trip in the name. There's got to be drugs involved.
Ah, true. You did say that in. I only got the joke
drugs
now.
on our trip, but I mean, they weren't part of the show.
Oh, of course.
I mean, no, there
They're part of
wasn't.
the
We were
filming.
totally nothing untowardly happened. We were all gentlemen, 100% of the time.
Of course, fully professional as filmmakers. Yes.
Listen, we weren't shooting every day, okay?
Of course not. Well,
It's
you weren't
Tom
shooting
Green.
film every day.
Hey, that's
Just
horrible.
that black tar heroin.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
So I
Well-
guess I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Out of all the projects that you were on, involved in, and everything, what is the one that actually you would say built up your love for filmmaking the most?
I mean, I started making movies just as a hobby in like junior high and high school. I just always loved wanting to do it. So I don't know that there's a single project that made me love it. There was a project that I did more recently because I'd spent some time away from the film industry and just doing video production, like more just the corporate stuff and not doing so much the creative stuff. And when I finally got back on set, it was I think it was 2017 or 2018. It was a movie called Core Values, really shitty B movie, but the crew was great and it was a fun time. We spent, a month out of town, staying in hotels, just creating this like family community of filmmakers and going out and shooting for 12 hours a day was just a lot of fun. And it reminded me how much I love filmmaking and why I love filmmaking. And so I've vowed to never leave again for, corporate overlords and try and stick to the as much of the creative adventure stuff as I can. So, and then the doc stuff is more new for me too. Cause like I said, most of the work that I did for years was more like community news and corporate promotional online web videos and that sort of thing. But now I want to do things that are more
exciting
and interesting and fun, and to get to like a lot of the other stuff I did was on my own, and now I work with groups of people, and it's a lot of fun to like actually go
Thanks,
out there
Patrick.
and build all this porn. That's the first question everybody asks. Yeah, I'm a camera operator. Oh, so you shoot porno, eh? Yeah.
You think?
Thanks.
I have a secondary
Thanks, you're the
question,
fucking
actually.
only 8 billionth person to make that joke. Drone
Oh, of
porn.
course.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard drone porn. You might
I got
be
a
on
secondary
something there.
question for you. If you were like given all of the money in the world to create a film based off of a certain franchise that's not Star Wars or Marvel, what would it be?
A franchise?
Yeah,
like
from
not
a
my franchise? Because if I was given all the money in
Not
the world,
your
I'd make one of
franchise.
my movies.
No, an existing franchise IP. That's not Star Wars or Marvel.
Or Marvel. Well, Star Trek.
There you go.
Yeah.
Please make it
listen,
better.
I love the OG Star Wars, but I'm always a Trekker first. Always.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My dad was the Trekkie, and I made fun of him for it till the day he died. So that
Literally.
was
Yeah, well, your dad is
not
based.
literally, but yeah, my
Actually,
dad.
did
we
you
had
make
more
fun of him?
Star Wars
You made
ornaments
fun
on
of
the tree?
him on
than
his
Christmas.
at his funeral.
Yeah, of course I did. I didn't bring up Star Trek though.
Oh well, there you go. Some things are sacred, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are we ready for a Gartic? Will you join us for Gartic, David? Or does anybody else have any film-related questions, guys?
What is Gartic? What?
Gartic phone.
Do you know how to
You
draw?
don't know what Gartic phone is?
Oh, is this that game you guys play?
Mhm.
Yeah, and you said you're a fan of the show.
Well,
Mm.
well,
Really?
I'm aware of the game, but I don't know.
Never fucking played it.
I've never played it though.
Hydra, do you have any questions for David? I know you just got back.
Yeah, apologies. Things are falling apart. I have to do emergency. I have to be a repairman every time because I couldn't replace some of this stuff. I remember that thing when the chair literally fell apart and I had to repair it mid-thing.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was. But David, I am so jealous of your constant time and energy that you're able to put into your just all of these passion projects. How do you
I'm
manage?
so boring, you guys. You don't even know. I've been on the couch for 2 months.
I'm even more jealous than you have so much free time.
I'm in my downtime right now. I start a
Good,
short.
have
I
it.
start a short next week. We start building a set next week, but for now, I'm
Oh.
Nice.
How do you manage all of the? It sounds to me like similar to, I don't know, serving on a ship almost. Like there are periods when you gotta be there all the time and things are going down, and then there are like weeks or months of nothing is happening. When is something going to happen? How do you manage the? It's sometimes very intense. I have absolutely nothing to do, or I need. I feel like there is a creative burnout or something right now when I need to do a lot of things, or how am I going to solve this big problem, or man, what am I even going to do in these 2 months when there is nothing to do? How do you manage all of this with time, energy, and passion on what you want to do?
I think if you talk to most filmmakers or people who work in film, who work these crazy hours when you're actually working, and then on nothing, they'll say something along the lines of, you work on a project until you fucking can't stand it anymore, and it's a nightmare, and you're counting the days until it's over because it's just been the hardest thing you've ever done. And then, as soon as it's finished, about 2 weeks later, a month later, you start going, I'm bored, I want to do something, and you want to do it again right away. And that's that sort of cycle of the filmmaker. And after, like, for example, the Crypt Trip was one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing I've ever done. We were working 16-hour days sometimes and traveling across the country with breakdowns and close quarters with 5 other guys on this trip, and dealing with the disabled part of it because our lead guy was a quadruple amputee. So there was all this stuff going on with the show. Being up at 4 a.m. in an insane asylum, hunting for ghosts, for a scene. That when I got back, I actually crashed really hard, like harder than I've ever crashed before, where I would sit outside around my fire pit and just stare at the fire for hours, like being depressed. And like, it took a while to like get myself back out of that because I just crashed so hard. So I don't know that I always deal with it. I don't know that I have a system of dealing with it because every project is different, and I think what got me through a project like that is just being like, well, I'm along for the ride no matter what. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I need to take away the expectations that something is going to go right or something is going to go the way it's planned to go, because it's not. And that's part of that's part of the show. If you can't do that, if you can't go for the ride, then go home. Right.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said like you're very dynamic, but you have to be that kind of person, because if you really are, if you're rigid in your thinking that things have to be a certain way, you're always going to be dissatisfied with the situation you're in. It's never going to go as planned, and you're going to be highly stressed the whole time. And it seems like you said you wouldn't go back to 9 to 5, Whereas some creative people, they actually like they work in the structure and they're okay with it. But it seems like you just.
I mean, people have
Not for you.
different preferences. Some can only perform if they are precisely told what to do and when, and some thrive with the kind of independent command thing. Like it depends on personalities, you know. But I was just interested in your method because I work in a creative field. Similarly, I do game design projects, and that's sometimes that I am personally of the way that I like indie stuff and doing my own thing, because then I can work really hard suddenly when I have inspiration and kind of focus on something else when I feel like I don't have the creative inspiration for this specific project, and work on some other things. Because I also do modding on the side and I also study, etc., etc. And I don't have a coherent system for it at all, but at the same time it's going okay. So I was curious whether or not somebody who lives in this kind of up and down wavy work structure like you has actually something precisely worked out, or does it just completely like, oh, right now it's going like this, and just plan as you go, basically.
I don't
ADHD spurts.
I don't know that there's a way to do. I know that next time I do if we do a season 2 of the show, because the next time we're gonna probably start in the Yukon and drive to LA, and that's gonna be a crazy ride again, and I'm gonna really, really try my best to like take better care of my mental health when I get back, so that I don't end up in that situation where I'm crashing as hard. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that, but sitting around drinking alone around the fire is probably not the best way to do it.
That's probably not going to recharge you as
avoid alcohol. Avoid alcohol during those periods of time, because it just depresses you and it creates
any other wisdom or advice you're willing to share with me other than don't be an alcoholic?
Don't drink. Drinking is terrible. Season 2 is going to be incredible. It's quite a crazy life you're living there. Honestly, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't have better advice for you, Hydra. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
He's basically
embrace
said,
the
go
chaos.
with the flow. Yeah, it seems like
embrace the chaos.
But you can see Hydra wants a system. He's that kind of person. He wants you to have the input and the output. Tell me what I need to do to make this chaos go away.
Not that like not necessarily. I am adverse to the types of system that are
it's not that autistic.
Hold on. It has nothing to do with autism, but
it's okay. Hydra, it's a joke.
I know. I understand. I just mean that there is a difference between system and system. Like I wasn't looking for anything like from 9 to 5 you work on this exact kind of project, because that's exactly the type of system that I dislike, that I couldn't possibly work in as somebody who does creative work and relies on inspiration and things like that, especially when it comes to level design or things like that, or even when it comes to more seemingly much more menial and mathematical tasks, like creating artificial intelligence for, like, I don't know, enemies in a video game. You think that's very mathematic, but no, it's not. It's also an art form, way more than I would like it to be. I wasn't looking for anything like, in order for creative work, and then give precise data. I was just interested with someone's specific solution to the same situation, or what they expect or how they deal with it. Yeah.
It's sage wisdom.
Exactly.
Well, he just go with the flow.
He's calling you old, David.
You said the sage thing. I didn't utter a single word about age, Bill.
Well, my back constantly reminds me that I'm old, so.
You're not that old, as you said earlier, and he doesn't look old either, because he's not old. You're not?
I'm in my 40s.
Ooh.
That's not old yet.
Old.
It's
That's
50.
not old. Jesus.
I've likely lived half my life already, okay?
Have you had
for that existential thought?
Oh, wait. I have a very big question. Are you left-handed?
No. Left-handed people are dirty.
Oh my god!
Hey,
Just,
Wow.
excuse me.
I'm just kidding.
I took a shower this morning.
I
Instead
haven't.
of solidarity, you found bigotry. Dun, dun, dun.
The reason I ask this is because I think left-handed people we're gonna die before the other people. Just so you guys know, Dorkus, BMO, we're out before everybody else.
Why is that?
Statistically, we
Huh?
have a shorter lifespan because there's
I
we're
think it
more
has to
accident
do.
prone.
I thought it has
24
to do
hours.
with the location of the heart and the blood flow from using the left hand over the right.
Oh wow!
I heard it was the
that would be
accident
interesting if
proneness.
that were the case.
Or we're just
I've never heard
clumsy.
this before.
This is
Or
the
we're
first
just
time
clumsy.
for me too.
Everything I've learned about left-handed people was from the episode of The Simpsons
Right.
where Flanders opens a leftorium. That was where I learned my lefty tolerance.
I get mad every time I pick up a weed whacker or any sort of power machinery that's designed
Scissors.
specifically for average people.
On
Did you
average,
get
left-handed people
special
die
scissors?
9 years earlier than the right-handed people.
Whoa, that's a long time.
This is my argument me and my husband are having. Is like, who's gonna die first? I'm like, I'm left-handed.
Oh, that's the argument you're having with your
No.
husband. Oh boy.
Who dies first? Lefty. That's it. So out of the thinkers, no, we're making morbid jokes. Yeah.
That is the true crime here.
Darling.
But
Oh, they-
women
Yeah,
tend to
they-
live longer than men.
Yeah, I was
so
about to say.
surely it's going to
Okay,
balance
fine.
out.
So we're gonna die together, me and him. Then is that how it's gonna be?
There you go.
No, it's -5 plus -9 plus 5. There you go.
Minus
So
9.
still-
Yeah, I'm still gonna die before him.
I mean, if you're really in a race for it, you can start smoking.
You could just do it now if you want. It's like if you're
just jump
racing,
out the window, but yeah. No.
don't do that. That's not medical advice.
Death 20% run. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
don't
that we
smoke.
could make jokes about my death.
It's a speed run that I don't want to complete.
Seriously, if Mark Twitchell gets out, we have problems. All of us lefties are more
You're
likely
all
to
on a
be.
list now.
We're on a list. Wait, everybody else here hasn't shown their faces, so
That's true. Yeah.
although
That's
Gray,
okay.
you could.
I'm the
back
only
there.
idiot here who put my real name on the screen.
I'll
This is
put-
my
I can
real
put
name.
Yeah,
Gray
Gray
Papa.
puppets.
Grey
But
Poupée.
that is your showbiz name as well. Hello, what do you expect? We need to have your name there.
Imagine if it actually was us that were like hunted after instead of any of the big news, anybody who brought the story to bear in the initial phase, anybody who popularized it, all of the like huge newspapers that talked about it. Nobody there gets targeted, but us. Random people on the internet on this shiny channel. Now they specifically, they are gonna get hunted down. Fuck them.
And then somebody somebody with a podcast channel goes and reports on this, and they use all of this as the reference footage and things like that. So
If I
Hi.
die, I'll die fighting. If he'll stab me to death, then I'll stab him back. Let's go.
you know what? Actually, part of the thing that the survivor, one of his things that he said was like, if this guy's gonna kill me, I'm gonna die my way. That was like his main thing.
Mhm.
And he basically stood up because the guy Mark had taken a fake gun basically and said, get down on your knees, whatever. So he actually stood up and grabbed the gun, and that's when he realized it was plastic.
Yeah.
That's so
So-
badass.
Well, we can't
Yeah.
really get guns here in Canada. It's very difficult.
Yeah. So also he went to the border to try and he went to the USA to get this cattle prod thingy majiggy. And what did he say? He was going there. He was going to go and work on a film or something, and they actually brought him back. They're like, no, you don't have a visa. You can't come into the USA. So I had to buy one online. So that's
Oh, okay.
yeah. He
I'm
had
surprised
even
he was
more.
allowed to have it in Canada.
I don't think he was. I think it was illegal, and I think we talked about that when we were on the
Mhm.
set. We were like, I don't think we're actually supposed to have this. I was like, well, it's fine. I don't know.
Oh, and that's the thing that. So did anybody ever get touched by that? Did you guys try that out? Because he did not know that it wasn't going to be that effective
Like,
when
did
he
we-
used it.
Did you guys test out the cattle
Were we just like, all right, to me, bro, to me.
Yeah,
I can do
exactly,
it.
exactly.
That's what I think men would do. That's what I think.
100%.
No, we did not. I mean, I wasn't around when if that happened with anyone that happened with. We did turn it on and we could hear it sparking.
You could hear
and
it.
like
Yeah.
it's a god awful sound, really loud.
You weren't curious what it felt like?
You see, the BMO's a real man.
BMO, there's a difference.
He's stupid. He's got that stupid testosterone.
Hit me.
Testosterone makes you do dumb shit, man.
Guys, I
God,
have been
you're
tased before, not in like
This
a bad
is why
situation,
men
but I
die
have
younger,
been.
right here. This is why.
Listen, I don't know what you're into, but that's not. No, I wasn't interested.
It's
in
not a
finding out
fetish.
what it
Don't
was.
attack me like this.
It wasn't
More
something I wanted to try.
curiosity.
I was like,
No,
nah, I'm
but-
good.
He didn't know that it wasn't going to immediately take effect. He thought that. So it's actually very good that you guys didn't fuck around, because he thought that he could go for his first victim, the French guy, and this guy would be immediately incapacitated. But it actually his legs only became like a week afterwards, a while afterwards. He thought he was going to be immediately not able to walk from this cattle prod thing, and that
No.
yeah.
Well, it's a good
Wow.
thing we didn't test it first, because Mark
Yeah.
could have gotten all the bugs out of the system and used it more effectively.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
serious. It's not a joke. And also, who is at the door?
Well, Lucy,
It's the
Lucy
killer.
in the chat says, I have a taser, and the first time I brought it out, all my guy friends fucked with it. And it's like, I'm sure they did, but we were on a movie set. Like, this wasn't like a bunch of people just hanging out. We were like, it was a prop in a movie set. It was like we were professionals. Okay.
Yeah, I was about
That
to
makes
say
sense.
before you said the word profession. I was about to say somebody is defending their professionalism right here. Don't be
We're there with
insensitive.
actors who are trusting us to shoot a movie, and we've got a real weapon in our vicinity. I mean, it's part of our job to make sure, like on film sets, we have safety meetings every morning.
So you didn't pull an Alec Baldwin and like use a gun that was previously
Yeah.
used by the staff to go hunting on the
He
side.
was going to
by
bring
our
Alec
bullets.
Baldwin.
It's not filmmaking, but like I remember distinctly doing theater for multiple years, and bringing a real sword on set, and we were supposed to have a duel, and of course we were playing with those things behind bars, not behind
Oh, yeah.
bars. We didn't get behind bars, but safety meetings were still a thing. But man,
Confirmed. BMO has been behind bars.
No, thank goodness. I wouldn't last.
So I hear what you're saying, David, that, this is a set, so nobody would play around with the stuff. But do you want to bring back up that picture of you lightsaber dueling with those lights?
So those were light fixtures. Those were not props or weapons or anything
Oh,
like that.
so you use the light fixtures, not the props.
In fact, they were made of glass, so they were very fragile, so we couldn't actually duel with them. So we just took pictures with them. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Jesus.
They're fluorescent bulbs are a lighting fixture that we don't really use in the industry anymore, because now everything's LED. But what were they called? They're flow bank or something like that. I can't remember the name of that particular light fixture, but
Well done for not breaking them, because it does look like it was quite an intense battle.
thank you.
Dildos? Yeah.
I
You
was
know what? It
wild
always
in
comes
my
back
youth.
to dildos. It always comes back to dildos with Patrick. Cattle prods aren't designed to incapacitate anything. They're supposed to just
They're just to make
prod
you move.
Yeah, they're supposed to make you move the fuck out.
This is more proof that Mark is just dumb, right? Like he just
Yeah.
got the thing that wouldn't actually do the job that he wanted it to do.
It
Well,
makes
the script-
electricity, it tases people, okay? They're supposed to fall onto the ground, helpless. Okay? That's the logic. Come on.
I'm
Only
just glad.
tased
How
them in the
water
ball.
wakes people up.
Oh my gosh! I sorry. Just even thinking of the what happened with the survivor guy. He went home.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. The victim himself also went home. The victim went home because he had actually the second time I heard the story, Johnny went in, saw Mark, and Mark said, "Oh no, Jen is coming. She's just in traffic. Or whatever. You can wait here."
Wow.
And then he said, no, you know what? I'm gonna go. It's fine. I'll go. And then he went home and messaged her, and said, well, what's up? What happened? And then she's like, oh, the traffic's eased up and I'm back. You can come." And then actually,
Was the other guy supposed to watch? Like,
no. I'm confusing the story. Sorry, but the thing is, Johnny almost made it away. This was in the second telling that I've heard of this. He actually made it. Are you familiar with this at all, David? That he went home
I think
first.
I may have heard something about that Johnny had gone once and she wasn't there and left, and then he came back on another time or another night. I can't remember.
It was the same night.
Was the same night? Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, to that he came back, and apparently he has, as he said to the guy, that Johnny's last words were, "I'm a sucker for punishment." Anyway, let's play Gartic, everybody.
Sure.
I mean, women, right?
Right, exactly. Women just. He preyed on that. Any final thoughts on true crime, guys? We are not going to talk about it for a very long time.
Okay, no true crime.
I still like it, Gray. Do you?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm also a fan of justice, and you can't have justice without true crime. So, they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Gray.
Yes.
You say you're a fan of justice. How do you explain this?
Wahoo! Yeah. Wahoo! Yeah, it is hard to explain, but justice will be served.
Just us.
Just us. Here is your Gartic link. This is great. Yes, that is a classic.
Oh, I thought I was setting it up.
Oh, well, I gave you the link. You can still share your screen.
Okay.
We watch. Okay, this is the music that we put on.
There we go.
This is some high quality stuff. You know what, David? I'm sure you're feeling really starstruck and privileged right now being on this show.
Totally.
So thank you so much for.
It's totally. Thank you for joining us, though. Honestly,
really
I got a lot more out of this conversation than I thought I ever would.
Wow, David. Really interesting.
It's definitely an backhanded compliment. So. I wasn't meaning it as a backhanded compliment. I swear.
I know that.
So if
it comes off a little back.
No, I'm just.
Dorkus.
I'm just being a little.
So for the reenactment.
Oh my.
If we're getting Matt Damon, can we get Bradley Cooper for you?
Ooh.
I get that.
Hey.
I actually get that a lot. Out of all the actors that people say that I look like, I get Brad Cooper the most. Yeah.
You do give Rocket Raccoon vibes. Yeah, I could see it.
I could see it, yeah. Also a really good Jim Carrey impression.
So what I'm hearing you say is we need Jim Carrey. We need Bradley Cooper playing Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman. Yeah?
That is wild. I don't know how we can
the remake.
Patrick is telling you to just leave whenever the fuck you want. Don't do that. I put the link.
Go, guys. Get in. We've got Paffy.
Guys, I don't think we should do any of the murder scenes, okay? Just don't do that.
I don't think we
Let's have a little bit of
we
class,
even got
guys.
Lucy.
I don't know how this is played. I don't know. What
someone needs to explain the rule.
Click the link.
Okay.
Click the link and join us. And basically the way it is it's basically Pictionary in the way that you will be given a prompt and you draw the prompt and someone has to guess what that prompt is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
It goes
like,
over and over.
It's like broken telephone.
Yep, exactly.
Just do what it says that you must do on the screen, okay?
Okay.
Do the thing it says.
Just do the thing it says. It's very simple.
Is that everyone?
Someone will come up with a prompt.
Wait, are you in? I know you hear this all the time, David, but are you in? Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you.
I think I'm in. I clicked join there.
Are you cool nickname 889?
What? Maybe.
I am looking.
I'll take that as a yes.
Are you on the list
How do
here?
I change that? What do I do?
No, you don't. I don't know if you can.
Lucy, how the heck are you going to be able to draw while you're on Stairmaster?
Lucy, you know what? I think Lucy.
She's got skills.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
you put.
They're electrifying.
You could put your name in. Oh,
And
you
she's
going back
losing
in?
control.
Let's see. Does that work?
Yes.
There we go.
You figured it out.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We got enough for a fun time. Okay, we ready?
Let's go. And there's straight up no pressure. Draw whatever you think you can.
Well,
it's not about
There's
us.
a timer in the top right corner.
You got to write something for somebody else to draw, and you know, good times.
Sorry, you were looking at my screen, weren't you?
Wait, what?
So, this is your prompt. This is the one that people will have to draw.
Okay.
Once you're finished with that, click finish.
Whatever comes to mind. Except
Also, this is responding to the chat. Stairmaster is super based, but so is the Jacob's ladder.
Oh yes.
what is the Jacob's ladder? Is it just a ladder that just keeps going?
No.
Yes.
Yes. You
pretty
just keep
much.
climbing.
Not a ladder, but okay.
Oh
You
wow!
climb-
We just
you kind of climb. What is this prompt? Interesting.
So we have to draw the prompt that someone else did, and then someone else will make a prompt out of that, and then so it goes on.
Oh, that looks like Charles. Oopsie.
It always looks like Charles. Charles is in every single one of these.
Did you give him a hat? It's gonna be Charles.
What's David? How do we draw David?
Dave Lando.
No, that's not how
Try
that
and draw
works.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, okay, that's still not gonna work. Okay, well. What is everybody watching? Has anybody started watching Landman?
I have no idea what that is.
I hear really. Then why did you speak up? I hear good things. Haven't watched it yet.
Billy Bob Thornton's in it. It's another
believe
Taylor
Lithgow as well.
Sheridan, another Taylor Sheridan thingy majiggy project.
To answer your question, Gray, I speak up all the time on things I know nothing about.
We know.
Yeah, that checks.
That is why you are on my channel. That's how this works. Oh no.
How am I supposed to make it? Okay. So
If it's staring at men walking around outside my apartment, then yes, I watch all the time. I just stare at people's dogs.
Oh no, I have so little time left. Hold on. I didn't even realize. Wait.
You know what? That's Gray's fault. Gray's the timekeeper, and he did not say anything.
Yeah, true. Gray, when was the
your time
how
is
much
almost
do you
up.
have left?
Oh, thanks.
Not much.
hello.
It's timed?
Yeah.
Yes, it is timed.
And you get less time as it goes on. So
Exactly. Yep.
this is the most time you'll get.
You mean
Good
I have to do
times.
this again?
Yes.
Oh, only like 9 more times. Well, 7 more.
Oh my gosh, darling, this is fantastic.
Okay, now describe what you see.
This is... That's so good.
That's really
I'm not
good.
looking. I'm not looking. That's cute. I like that idea. That if you can't draw the thing, just draw bits of it. Just imply the thing. Ooh. Okay.
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 So you have
That's not
most of
how-
your time.
There we go. Thank you, Gray.
Yeah.
That's not how that works, Jinsia.
That is how it works, Jinsia.
weird when people say my name. Okay.
Is it Chintzia?
Ah! sorry. Don't make me yell in my microphone more than usual. Oopsie.
I cannot draw this. Jeez.
I can't draw anything.
We believe
None
in
of
you.
us can draw.
You should stop
You know,
lying.
don't you call yourself an artist?
I am a drawer, yes.
I'm sorry, a drawerist.
A drawerist, yes. I'm very good with drawers.
I used to be a sketch artist, but it's been a minute.
I absolutely expect sketches here. Like what? Yeah, like
No finished
sketch
I've never
artist?
been a computer artist. Like I used to draw with like a pencil, like on like.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah. Well,
What about half your time?
Back
is gone?
before the internet, we used to
Big
draw on
Matey.
the paper.
I remember when Photoshop was considered cheating.
Oh, now
It
we're
still is.
having the AI debate.
Oh, not even AI. It's the digital art makes it too easy, so it's cheating.
Wow.
It's the authenticity argument.
Do you even make your own pencil?
Do you even?
I don't
make
know,
your own
but I
pencil?
usually put BMO sniffing glue. Okay, so that's
What?
that's her favorite prompt, I suppose. Does David have a sister named Janelle? Why are you asking? Is that a joke, Patrick?
I do have a sister.
He's not telling you what it is.
Oh no, I don't have nearly enough time to finish this. No. Come on. You got this.
So are we just warming you up for when you go on to Sitch and Adams show? Or have you been on there already?
I haven't been on there. No.
Oh, you got to get on there, man. Yeah, you're not gonna earn anything by saying, "Oh, I was on the Thinkers," because they won't even remember.
They're gonna
us,
be
but
like,
they might remember Kitty though, or Andrew Clark.
Yeah.
Red-
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
red guy shoots
What is this?
brown haired guy. I guess. The body that I used to know. Oh, okay, get it, Patrick. What?
Oh my god, these are just getting. Oh, how do I? Okay, hold on. Oh,
No,
I got this. I got this.
That's a good one. You got this.
I already
Uh,
did this. I'm going to simplify this down.
I feel like we're giving some really great screenplay ideas in this thing. We're witnessing something
Great
great.
screenplay ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is It's not gonna compare to some of my previous arts that you've seen, but this is beautiful.
His previous arts.
Yes.
I sent you a new profile picture, by the way, in Discord.
Me?
Nice.
Yes, you. Because
We'll
I've
look at
seen it.
once
I've seen
I
it several.
scroll it.
I've seen it several times today, and I'm like, okay, fine. This is a sign. I have to show him.
I made a mistake.
Didn't we all?
To make up for.
This has been such a mistake.
Stop reading David's thoughts.
Eh?
That's
thoughts.
not.
What are we
I can't
talking
even
about?
read
What
my own
thoughts?
thoughts.
What thoughts are you reading? I don't know.
You gone thoughts?
It's just the inner monologue that you're probably having. I've made.
Have you?
All my inner
Yeah.
monologues sound like this, see? And there I was.
Have you
on Kitty's
done?
stream.
Have you done acting?
Yeah,
Did you
a little
ever
bit.
think about it?
Yeah. I've hosted TV shows, I've done news stories, and I've also done a bit of acting, especially in my old stuff back when I was younger. I played a paranormal investigator in a movie I wrote and directed called The Entity.
Oh, that's right. Vanessa said, did someone say the entity?
Oh, this is so wrong. This is so no one's gonna know what this is.
I don't
That's
think
the
anyone's
beauty
gonna
of
know.
it.
You see, but you guys aren't sharing screen, okay?
Well, you're the artist. I'm glad I'm not sharing screen. It's great.
Yes,
riveted.
I don't think I can hold that title with what I just fucking drew.
You know what? I'll help out.
Okay, we got 2 more, I think.
God, it's the results always fun to get to get like it's the best part, but gassy working at it. I don't enjoy drawing this part. Did you see my story night? You'll have to post it in the Discord.
What is wait?
this?
Okay, hold on. I already got this. I figured it out. You guys are sending me impossible stuff, and every time, yet I prevail. Oh, yes.
Yep. You figured it out.
I'm going to make it even more nonsensical. How do you like that? Nice.
I likes them apples. You got about a quarter of your time gone.
It goes so fast.
I actually hope somebody gets this joke.
It's like the left-handed lifespan.
It's too long.
Way too long.
Oh, I love the mouse clicks.
Not all of us have tablets.
I have a tablet. I'm not using it though. I'm just continuing drawing because I still have time. Oopsie poopsie, that doesn't look good in context.
Don't worry about it.
Half your time is gone.
Ah!
Don't worry about it.
I don't like performing this song by myself. I prefer Charles to be doing
Charles.
it. Thank you.
Not the same.
Okay. Should I do something else? No. Wait.
The time is almost up.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, there's tools. BMO didn't explain that to you. He's a jerk.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
There's an undo button as well.
Yeah.
You know, that one comes in handy.
I've been doing tasteful black and white photos.
Most of us have.
Oh no.
What?
Miss Sparkles,
Okay.
you're here in spirit.
BMO has.
What? What do you mean? What do I have? I have chlamydia? I've been accused of such things before.
Wait, do you know what is? Okay.
There we go. Time to review. Let's go.
This is the fun part.
Thank God, I
My
was waiting
prompt?
for the fun part.
You're the one. Lightsabers at the door. I have no idea what the fuck I was doing here.
Get out.
It's pretty good.
Those are light knives.
I mean,
They're
there's a
not
door, there's
Is that-
lightsabers. I don't know what else you want.
Lightsaber
close
fight,
one a
someone says
saber?
get out.
Yeah, that's not a saber. Come on. This
That's
is like-
perfect, Gray. Thank you.
Yeah.
I drew all
Sith
my
commands
pictures without
Jedi to get
knowing
out.
that I could use color.
Get out, Jedi. Oh, he's using the Force. I love it, Hydra.
Oh, good.
Sith Jedi forces get out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Shoo
Do
you.
That's a great Darth
Well
Maul.
done. That's great.
Oh, is that what
She's
that
doing that
is?
on the demo?
It's gotta be Darth Maul. It's the only thing I can think of. The devil telling that guy to kill on the bus.
Jeez.
I brought it back.
Very good. That
I'm
is what we
saving
do
this,
with
by the
this
way.
show. Yeah, that's what we do with those shows.
Now that I know it's Darth Maul, I see it. But yeah,
That's so good. You know, talking about his going himself.
Oh, that's what it was.
Darling, this is the best. This is the highlight of my night.
Oh my god, that is so
That is
good.
awesome.
that's great.
That has to
It's
be a profile.
beautiful. See, immediately. that
I'll have you
came
know,
out.
I have never tased myself. I got tased.
Uh-huh.
It's usually how it works.
proud
You
of
get
you.
someone else to do it. I mean, I would assume.
Look how he is.
Thank you, Dorkus. You want to taste it? No!
I'm so sorry.
No!
I like it.
Look where he did it.
Placement.
Oh,
He was think is tasering himself. No.
I
Thank you,
get
David.
the eye. I get
Perfect.
the look. But nah, sorry guys. I fucked it up. Everybody else got it?
Well, my picture wasn't very great.
BMO has
Oh, at the very end.
Oh yeah, he's manscaping.
tased. Let's go.
Oh.
That's my artistic skill, ladies and gentlemen.
No explaining garlic phone. Hey, that's almost what I drew.
Oh, garlic.
Almost
So
what I
good.
drew too, I think.
Look,
You want to teach us garlic phone to do?
David is cute. Look how cute David is.
That is cute.
I
Cute. Different, but
David
cute.
Love.
What? I guess he died learning.
No idea.
Boomer David.
What is the garlic phone? Did I miss something? I don't know what that is.
We call it garlic phone, but it's Gartic phone.
Oh, Gartic. Oh, the game. I
Mm.
see. See, I'm completely lost.
Someone teaching someone how to garlic. I like it.
That's
I like
technically
how all
correct.
these-
And I immediately associated it.
Yeah, no, you got it because I was like,
We
I'll
kept the
fuck around
telephone.
with this one.
We
Yeah,
won telephone. Let's go.
I was actually wondering if who would get it. Oh no, it said reconnecting. Okay, go.
Firefighter Sammy Snail rescued his cat from tree.
I did not see any I don't recognize this at all.
Yeah,
Me
no
either.
idea.
Oh, that's so good
Oh,
though.
no.
But where's Sammy Snail?
Aww.
I think
Orange
it's
money in a tree. Money.
Money in a tree.
Oh,
Darling,
So good.
I have no idea what this.
I want to
was.
be like you. Woo woo. Yeah, there you go.
See, this was
Wow.
awful.
Oh,
Wow, Bimo.
So bad.
part of it is around.
Yeah, it's not round.
MailChimp?
Like a postage chimp.
Chimp
guess
mail.
so.
Oh, my bad.
Ape sends
sends
letter
letter
via
via
monkey
monkey
mail.
mail
Okay, you guys don't know what
Ape
mail
sends
is.
letter.
Question mark. David Puff
Puff
taste.
taste.
Oh, so everybody's getting
Oh,
taste
no.
now.
Oh, I know where this
I
goes.
just draw myself being tased. Yeah.
Mean
Shoot
man.
for David Buff. I mean, not totally inaccurate.
Lucy just decided out of nowhere one of them was David. Like she just did.
It's context. It's important.
Very mean man. He is very.
Red guy shoots brown haired guy.
Thanks, Lucy.
Oh yeah, I thought yeah.
In mid-air, that's a beautiful
I
shot.
immediately thought that was the figurine from Super Wars.
That's so good.
Action man.
I went back to Rambo. Okay.
Ryu shoots a rando?
Ryu?
Rambo shoots Rambo.
Ryu.
I
Or
mean,
Ken.
he's got the headband.
whichever one.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I would have said Rambo, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking Rambo shoots Rando, but fair enough.
Darling.
Me
That
getting
was
a
weird.
heart
I was
attack.
saying, yeah.
It's a generational thing.
There you go. He just didn't know it was BMO.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's great.
Angry Heart is about to stab you with a knife. Okay.
Mm.
I think this is this isn't the one I saw. That's a good
I'm
one.
Heart
coming
attack wasn't
grab
obvious
you.
on that one.
Heart is
No,
angry
not
and
to me
stab.
apparently.
You know what? I probably wouldn't have got it either. Like it's obvious.
Oh, this
looking
is
at
the
it
one
now.
I saw.
I like the
Heartbreaker.
blood streak. Oh, it was the guy's fault.
Always.
You made me do this.
He's not happy about it. Uh-oh.
All along.
Oh, that's because he says that my new profile picture looks like Agatha all along.
Oh, I can see it.
It was
That was not what I was trying to do. So I'm gonna change it now.
No idea.
No, don't change it. It doesn't look bad.
Well, Gordon wants me to have the smiley
yeah.
one.
No idea.
It was meow.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
La meowing.
Leah.
Leah meowing.
Leia.
Leia meowing,
Oh,
sorry.
those are the headphones, guys. Come on.
What?
Me?
What?
Ow?
What?
Meow?
Oh, that said meow? I thought it said one ow.
No, it said it was meow. Obviously. You guys can't read? What? Jeez.
No, I can't read. I'm sorry.
Meow, meow all along.
Why?
meow.
Why is
Okay.
it taking so long for mine to come through? There we go.
It's like,
What? That's like, I love that. That's
Foxrew confused by the orange.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, orange is confusing. Orange bad. Oh my god, how did this turn into a sheep?
Oh, I think I know what this is.
That
didn't
is
even
a
get my
sheep.
time
That
well.
is a sheep. I'm sorry.
I swear I didn't get this prompt.
It is
Yeah,
a
I don't
sheep.
think I did either, but I think I know where. Oh, never mind.
Oh, hold on. I know where
That's
this is
great.
going. Okay.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
what I saw right there, David.
That was my quickest drawing.
A car
It's
crash.
great.
Oh.
There we go. Darling has to show us all
Always,
up here.
always
Exactly,
saves the
yeah.
day. Explosive car crash.
It's so good.
Oh, sorry, I went next before you could say it.
And this is
I
why we
already got
don't
it.
use hearsay
I'm
in
quick.
court.
What?
What?
Dirty Ten
This
up
is-
on the Great Wall of China?
This is, but
Left-handed
this is what.
Thanos?
Listen,
That's a good
Oh, that
one.
makes
I
so
mean,
much
that's
more
pretty,
sense now.
That's
I'm
pretty
sorry,
good
everyone.
considering the prompt.
oh, I should have done the flag.
A pruny sack man?
On paved
I am
China.
so sorry for what you're about to say.
That's what I saw. That's oh my gosh. I had no idea what the
Not
hell this
pruny
was.
enough.
I couldn't draw a sack, and I can only draw a sick man.
A
so-
brown box head man walking down paved China.
Oh, that's so good, Kitty.
I didn't do a paved China. Cube head at the
Oh, I can see that.
Whee!
I love it.
Man enjoys roller coaster. There we go.
I
Right,
like it.
everybody. I won't put you through another round.
Oh, okay.
No, I think we've taken up enough time. Yes.
Sure.
think we've-
Works for me.
Yeah. Are we
Sure.
all good? Phew, Lucy, you did very nicely, despite the Stairmaster thingamajiggy.
Yeah, I did great.
Yeah, was that all on the Stairmaster? Are you exhausted now? What was the rate of the Stairmaster?
Yeah.
Like, how fast were you going?
Mhm.
Were you at the top of the stairs, or you at nearly the bottom the whole time? Like, that's what I need to know.
Hey guys, we don't actually have a pun. We don't have any puns this today.
There was plenty. David said
No,
a few.
maybe. I don't know. 9.
Dead on Arrival was there were so many chat.
Oh
bubbles.
yeah, 3. I think 3. Let's say 3. Okay, we were on 3, but the previous think was 7. So
I mean,
we're not doing
His
very
think
well.
was stunning nonetheless. I don't know.
There you go. 4. Okay. Well, let us talk about where the other thinkers are. Where do we find the thinkers?
Yeah, who are we
Where you
starting
least
with?
expect them.
You,
Me? Why?
Because you asked. That's why. There.
Oh
go.
my gosh. Okay. So I've been trying to get my stream set up ready. The goal is tonight to try and stream some Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ooh, yeah.
Because the beta is now live.
Beta
sounds like.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try. I've been having issues with streaming and running other games recently. My computer is not liking my RAM at the moment. So we'll see how it goes.
If I wake up early, I can play, right, with you?
I believe so, because it's live 7 p.m. my time, which would be 7 a.m. your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So I want to play. Also, Carl wants to play. Mr. Rapper. He's the OG Golden Company. So if we play together, that would be cool. So I'll wake up early, see if I can jump on. I'll see if I can download it. Get the beta so we can play together.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because it's crossplay. Because I'm playing on my PlayStation. Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. But yeah, the goal for me right now is to start posting more stuff on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, I'm starting to post some older arts on there and community posts.
Mhm.
I also learned that I cannot post like more than 8 posts so in a week, it seems.
Because they don't know who you are. Because you're
Yeah,
spamming.
they want me to verify with my ID, even though every post is different.
Mhm.
I don't feel like putting my ID in with YouTube, and it says that they'll hold it for 2 years. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
Facebook
no,
does
I'm
the
good.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, you guys get breached all the time. Why would I do that?
Just for the look in the description of this stream and see if I've linked the right channel that you're going to be streaming to for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Later on. Okay.
yeah, I'll be streaming on Twitch once I can get it up.
Oh, okay. It's Bemo's art on Twitch as well.
Yep.
Okay. Dorkus? What is it?
No one asked you podcast doing book things with book people. Usual stuff.
Wooed.
Gray, look, I think your comedy police video is doing its rounds. Right
Yeah,
now.
so my channel might not be as dead as I thought it was. Yeah, I released a video yesterday, out of nostalgia. It's something I used to do. So, yeah, I released a video and it seems to be doing pretty good. So, yeah, if you get a chance, go over there. Check that out. It's Bill Burr versus the comedy police or the joke police. So, yeah, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Just go over there, interact with it. But that's about all I got going on.
Thank
What
you,
about you,
Vanessa.
Hydra?
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming along.
Awesome.
To
Pretty
see
great.
your David dinner. Thanks for visiting, Vanessa. Yes. Sorry, Hydra, are you doing anything on the Discord?
Unfortunately, yeah, my setup still isn't complete, so I can't use my amazing new PC that is still sitting here next to me that I can't use because I'm missing a good chair and a good monitor, and without those, I can't really use it. So once I get those, I managed to acquire some of those that are comfortable for me and get them up and running. The usual Discord streams should return, and I will finally able to finish some of the things that you guys like so much, like the Elder Ring streams. There were a bunch of people were there, I remember. And I still have that character that I started playing the DLC with and barely just got like 3 hours in and didn't finish it. And my goal is to continue right where I left off with all of that once I finish my setup. And also the usual game development streams will be back as well, finally, after so many months of hiatus. Once I manage to get the setup working. That's it, basically.
Look out for it. Join the Discord. David, are you I think I did put the link to your channel, but I mean, you're busy doing stuff elsewhere. You're a content creator beyond YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that I do ends up on YouTube. Like I'll be putting the trailer for my next movie, Genesis, on my channel soon, and I've been working on that. That's the movie I actually shot before I met Mark. The reason I met Mark was because of the green screen that we built for it.
Yeah.
And then otherwise I'm just doing some other stuff, working in some true crime, some doc stuff, some hopefully some feature film stuff coming up. I'll be doing some editing on a couple of projects, so that'll be cool. But I also have, and I don't know if I can share the screen.
Please share it.
I have a sneak peek of the trailer for my movie Genesis, if you guys are interested in seeing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hype.
This will eventually be available on YouTube when I make it public, but we're
exclusive.
still in the process of doing a sound
We got a
mix
sneak peek,
for it.
guys.
Another Thinkers exclusive in the bag. Let's go.
Yes.
So
I was gonna ask, like, look, we're gonna watch it, so here you go.
All right, here it is. Right, it's quiet right now. This is the reading portion.
Let's read it out. In 2005, David Puff and Dion Turner began production on a short film in Edmonton, Alberta. After nearly it's gone.
Great job, Bimo.
Wait, I don't. Are we supposed to hear something?
Yeah, is there no sound?
No,
We
there's no
don't
sound.
have audio.
For some reason, it's shared without audio.
So you have to share the. Are you sharing the window or are you sharing the direct thing? Because
Yeah,
you've got
you
to
have to
share the
share
direct thing to
system.
see audio.
Oh, how do I do that?
System audio. When you click present, it will say so. You go share screen. You're gonna have to. I don't think window. Window
Yeah,
will
sharing
give
the
us
window
audio.
doesn't work. It has to be
You
the
have to-
application.
It must either be an Edge tab or a tab or a screen with share system audio.
Interesting. Okay.
So I guess you could send it to yourself on Discord and then open up your Discord and play it through there, and it should work. If you want to go through that.
I mean, we could just do the visual, but yeah.
No, it doesn't work without the sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I were to.
So if you do entire screen and then full screen your video, there should also be a button below your screen options that says also share system audio. Make sure you click the button to the right of it so that you're sharing the system audio.
Hang on, I think I can.
Hang on to what?
No, Bimo. Not everything is a boom thing, but
For you.
Hang on. If I do this to share screen, audio share tab, and said no, I can't. They won't do. It'll only.
So
do
yeah,
audio out
go
of a
share.
Brave tab.
You can share. What when you say share entire screen? Do you just not comfortable?
So it
with
says
that?
share entire screen. It says to share audio, share a tab instead. So
Doesn't it say?
Strange. Maybe
So it
maybe it's
doesn't
your
give you-
browser.
oh, it's the browser because you don't have the option to share.
David, do you have the video loaded to Dropbox or something?
I do.
If you wanted to email it to me, I might be able to.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to let the
No
file
problem.
out. It's kind of one of those things.
So we'll just have to have you on a second time.
That is so true, Galente. My scuff has spread to other people. It's, you know what? Nobody is safe.
It's terminal at this point.
You know what? And of all people, David does not need scuff in his life. Okay, so especially not with his technology and things like that. So I'm sorry, you basically are cursed now.
You can't do this. It won't
You
even let
might
me
be
share
able
a
to
tab.
play it from your Dropbox though, without having to send it to someone else. If you play the one in Dropbox,
If you
that
play it
actually
online.
might be.
Yeah. I just need
As long as it's part of a tab.
Yeah, I would just need a minute to kind of get logged in and set up because this is a new browser because I wasn't able to get StreamYard to work on my normal browser, so I'm gonna need a minute to figure this out.
Okay.
If,
Wait, really?
you guys are.
What do you use?
Like your StreamYard won't work in Safari, which is kind of what I just.
Oh yeah, actually, Lucy Lemonbug had the same problem.
And I actually tried using Firefox too, and I was having sound issues with StreamYard as well. So I went with Brave, which was
you
the
basically
most
have to use something
suggestion.
that is exactly. That's what I use personally. It's just Chrome, but a little better.
So I think I can actually play the video file in the browser.
Hmm.
So let me see here.
You just have to sign in and all that stuff.
Okay, so let me try this.
Thinkers more like the boomers. God, no, but you know what? Safari
Speak
isn't
for yourself, Creamage. You have a Filthy Frank image. No one knows who Filthy Frank is anymore.
I mean,
here. So
his name is filthy itself.
So if I were to share this,
yay! Yes, it's got audio. Okay, hold on. Let me take my stupid music off.
Yeah.
okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
This works.
Yes.
Yeah, that is audio.
You can't know what it's like to have these dreams. Like something's missing. Something went terribly wrong. We should help her.
What is this place?
You're aboard the space station Genesis.
Oh.
Constructed by the last survivors of the Earth. We have one mission.
You're not like the others.
You don't understand anything? No one does.
Have you been having nightmares again?
They took away everything human about us.
We're running out of time.
I'm aware of the situation.
What did you do?
You think your memory loss was an accident?
What was that?
What do you see when you look at the Earth? You must think of it sometimes.
Nova? What is it?
Whatever's happening to you, we need to tell the others.
Please don't do this.
You're a flaw.
The reactor's sealed off. It's gonna melt down.
Help me to understand. I want to know what you see.
We must all perform our duties or the mission will fail.
You feel it, don't you? The anger? Don't be what they programmed you to be!
Still don't understand what he is. He's just like us. We have the same potential.
Welcome to Genesis.
Holy crap.
You piqued my interest.
Yeah.
That is extremely impressive.
Someday, I
Nice.
hope you'll understand.
Absolutely
Now,
beautiful.
I do have a question. How
Just
much
one?
of this has spoiled the movie?
I mean, basically all of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, interesting.
It's a pretty
You went the
simple
Blue Mouse
story.
trailer route.
I went with the
How could you say that, Gray?
I went with the notion that you can, because was shot so long ago, and because it's really just a matter of actually getting it done, getting it out the door at this point. I just wanted to kind of throw balls to the wall and just put everything I had into the trailer, all the sort of nicest moments and the best stuff and the best effect shots. Like originally I wanted it to be like a surprise that they were in space and not underground, you know what I mean? But like it's like, I'm just like, no, I'm letting that stuff go and just being like, no, it's a space movie. It's an epic space movie. Like, don't worry about the
Yeah, I don't have the story from it. I just have the, oh my god, I just want to see what it's about. That actually, that isn't that what a trailer is supposed to do anyway. So it's like you're showing me all the cool stuff. So I'm like, cool. So I'll see the cool stuff in context if I watch the movie. But what I was thinking is like, holy crap, you really you went for the sci-fi epic, as opposed to just going for, like, oh, I'll film this in my backyard, film like a normal life film as my opus or whatever. You've gone. You're like, no, I want to do science fiction. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. This was around the time when Sin City and Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow had come out. And I
Mhm.
was like, well, frick, we can do that. We can just shoot on a green screen and digitally create all these backgrounds and make whatever we want. And so this was kind of a test back in the day to see like if we could sort of pull this kind of thing off. And it's kind of funny that it's taken so long to finish now, because it looks and sounds better than it ever would have back then. Because now we've been able to sort of like use better computers
Even
and
more.
better 3D rendering software and all that stuff to like kind of finalize the movie and grade the movie and finish the movie. So it's in the process of getting a score written for it here soon.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get the trailer done so
Mhm.
that I can get it out there and try and get some buzz going for it. And then I'm hoping to have a screening in the fall.
Oh,
I'm looking
so
forward
good.
to it because the effects actually look really good. From what
They
I
really
could see
do.
in there, like that looked pretty good.
They're
That was
okay.
very intriguing to me.
They're
You see,
okay.
you've
The
been
Genesis
staring at them for
station
too
looks
long,
awesome.
so
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you just, that's another thing I was thinking. I'm like, because look, the 20 years in the making thing is just hearing that, seeing that, like, and having spoken to you. How the hell do you keep going? I guess it's like, it's because you just have to, like, no, I have to get this done. I've been working on it. The longer you work on it, the longer you work on it, I
The
suppose.
reason why is because it's good. I like
You
it's one
believe
of
in
those,
it.
it's one of those things where after all these years, every time I watch a rough cut, I come away thinking like, that's good. It's too good to just let it sit there. And so I just kept
Good.
plugging
Yeah.
away at it. Yeah. And like just different things delayed me over the years. You know, I got married, then the Twitchell thing, and then, you know, like I kind of put it
Mhm.
on the back burner. I had bills to pay, you know, like, and finally last year or January last year, I was in one of my down times and I wasn't doing anything. And I decided that I was going to make finishing Genesis my day job. And so I
Mhm.
basically just got up every day. I went through every single shot. I opened up all the original After Effects files, went through everything, re-rendered every single shot, regraded every single shot, and finished all the shots that hadn't been done, and then just slammed it together into a final movie over the course of like 3 months or something like that, and just like got it done. So,
Oh,
so
jeez.
it feels pretty good to finish it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so daunting. Just that idea of opening up all those files. You did that. And that's insane.
When I first started working on this movie, I was editing on a G3 iMac.
I was
way
but
back
a
in the
lowly
day.
Padawan.
Yes, exactly.
Now I am the master.
Now I am the master. Yes.
Let's go.
Well, keep us posted on what's happening, and in terms of buzz and stuff, I don't know, go and search an Adam and go on their media channel or something and discuss.
Yeah.
stuff there.
I
But
think that's
now
where I
Gray-
probably end up is the media
Mm.
channel.
Oh yeah.
You got more?
Now Gray has to top that.
Here's my poster for the movie, just in case.
Go for it.
Look at that. There you go.
There you go.
That is
Fancy.
an awesome poster.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Puff Studios, boys. Yes, right, Vanessa. I honestly think I'm excited. How am I supposed to watch it? If you're gonna have, I guess I have to travel.
Eventually, it'll go online, and I'll.
Yeah, eventually.
You know,
I'll be like the
Fingers
maybe I'll
crossed.
make an unlisted link and send it to you guys or something. But yeah, at some point
Then
it'll
we
get
can,
released. But
we
first,
can
I want to do
e-fund.
the festival
Let's
circuit
go.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, do all of the real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on doing it.
Thank
Just
you.
getting it done. That's incredible. You're an inspiration. I love this poster, says Vanessa. I think
Looks good.
Puff Studios sounds great. I was actually I'm actually now I can't see the word puff without thinking of David. Like, so now I can't go buy any cereal or anything like that. It's silly. Anyway, that's it for today,
We're
guys.
not finished.
What's
People
what?
Gray still has to say what he's got going on.
Great. What? Yeah, you've
And
got a top.
Dorkus.
No, they have already said
did,
what they
you know.
they
Were you-
have. They did.
were you
You
gone?
did. He got so
Was I
taken
stuck in a
aback
time
by
loop?
you were.
Mm-hmm.
What?
They yeah. Puff Daddy.
I am a
Studios.
boomer.
No,
What the
none of that.
fuck?
You are. You are.
No, I've retired the Puff Daddy nickname for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it makes sense.
Actually, this is the perfect time to reclaim it because now it's yours.
Right.
No,
Right.
I don't know. I think leave it. It's fine. It's fine. Where it is.
I'll forever have Puff the Magic Dragon though. So
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it was very nice to meet you, David.
Yeah,
and we
thanks
should
for
have
having
you
me
on
on, guys.
again.
Yeah, if you
Yes,
if you
we
will
should.
if you'll let us have you. Yeah. Well, the next time we play Gartic, you can use color.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Mm.
Listen, I'm gonna splash some color in there next time. It'll be great.
Mm. We have an awesome outro song as well that I'll let you know about. So I would like
has
your
color.
feedback on it. And yes, it has color. If I could find it.
I'm sure I've seen the outro before. Like you've used.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it several times. Yeah, it's like that's the best part of the show when they finish.
I just listen. Okay.
That's
I
what
sleep.
she
All
said.
right. I wake up in the morning. I roll over. I check my phone and I see Kitty streaming.
Who's
And
live? Yeah.
So I turn it on and
You hear we are finished thinking for.
Okay, who wants to say? Let's see. Let's go. Okay, guys. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for coming around. Thank you so much, David. Well done on your debut. I'm sure you were very nervous to talk to us. Thank you for sharing your story.
Verified.
With us. Mhm.
it's this
wait,
and then straight to the liquor store. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's just the life of a filmmaker
We've
for you.
discussed this. We've just.
I've been
discussed this.
re-traumatized by Mark Twitch.
No. Yeah, that's actually seriously. I've been anyway. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you for the romance things next week.
See everybody.
Yep.